Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, November 13th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 63. Coming up on OTB, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins the show at 9 a.m. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo. What up, though? Hope you're having an excellent morning here on this November 14, 2023. Bit of a rainy morning, bit of a cold morning. A couple accidents coming in, so please be careful. I know I make a lot of funny jokes, but I would hate for you to laugh so hard that you would get into a fender bender. So, probably, not to brag, probably caused more fender benders than anybody ever to do a morning show called Off the Bench here. That's probably something that I have in my head. Hey, look, I hope you're all having a great day. We got a lot to get to today. Brian Kelly met with the media, so as we do every Tuesday, we'll get to some of that Brian Kelly sound. It was basically a giant Heisman campaign thrust from BK, as almost every question went back to Jayden Daniels and winning the Heisman and what it takes. And so we'll explore some of that. I want to talk New Orleans Saints entering the bye week. Got a couple injuries that we need to update on. The roller coaster rides, the roller coaster rolls on. And some, I want to have a discussion about how to deal with the roller coaster and acknowledge the flaws while also enjoying the success and some of the bravery or the courage, whatever. Well, you'll see what I mean when we get there. Just will ownership and the front office be able to make tough decisions regardless of the success and evaluate things. And so we'll get there. There's a decommitment from LSU's recruiting class that maybe doesn't feel great. But later on in the show, I want to get into college football playoff rankings. We got OTB mailbag. We got Nick Underhill. One conversation I've been having with a couple friends recently that I'll probably do in hour number 3 that I think is pretty fun is if you could visit one fictional place, what would it be? And there's a lot of great answers there. But look, it's going to be a fun show, 1045 ESPN, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. If you want to get involved, hit the like button. And let's have ourselves a morning. How we feeling, boys?
There is a lot of accidents out there. Traffic is really bad close to downtown. Had to weave in and out of a couple. I felt like I was in Fast and the Furious 13, 12, 11, somewhere, wherever we're at.
I think we're at 15.
Okay. It felt,
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But, yeah, you're right. Somewhere.
I mean, there's a couple maybe going the wrong way down a couple of one-ways because you got to do what you got to do. But, it felt good.
Oh, wow. So you were straight cutting through one-ways to make it here on time. Hell yeah.
Well, not to really make it here necessarily. Like, I still, had 10 minutes to play with, but.
When I got in here, even and it was a little later for me, but the entire bridge was closed down. Going to 10 West, is it still closed?
Yes.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that ain't good. Anytime it's in the 5 a.m. still and the traffic's building up, I just am like, oh my God, I feel for everybody who's about to be in this thing here in like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because there ain't nothing good about the morning you're about to have. Except more time in the car
Exactly.
means more time listening to OTB. All right. Boys, y'all you're doing well back there. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Good vibes. Ready for the Purple Court in New Orleans tonight for Pelicans game.
I like it. I actually like it.
Of course you do.
You don't like the purple and the.
I like the purple
light
court
green?
and the colors. That was my unpopular opinion. I just think this whole tournament is kind of dumb.
I didn't like the uniforms, but now that I see the court, I kind of I understand the uniforms more. Like they're gonna work well with the court.
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
I take back a little bit of what I said. Also, I love Princess and the Frog, and clearly, I mean, they're going for the voodoo thing, which is a little tired, but it does give off great Shadow Man vibes.
Yes.
And I actually kind of enjoy that now on the other side.
Someone did a caricature of Brandon Ingram as Dr. Facilier, and it was pretty cool.
Is that his name?
I
Dr.
can see
Facilier,
it.
I think so, right?
Facilier? Yeah, I've never actually known. I've seen that movie 10,000 times.
Antagonist from.
And I've just always called him the Shadow Man.
Me too.
Wow. Okay. Shout out Dr. Facilier.
Yes, that's his name.
All right. Okay. So they're and Taylor, you're doing okay.
I'm doing really good, yeah. I don't like the purple court because it's not one of the Pelicans' colors, but hey, we'll roll with it.
But isn't the whole point of this to get outside of your color scheme a little bit and play with some stuff?
It's fine.
They
I'm sure it looks good.
They've had purple jerseys before too, though.
They have.
It's an ode to the voodoo, low key.
No, for sure. I mean, look,
Shout out.
and I like that as well. Eventually, I think there's a lot of hay to be made by just making a fake Jazz uniform that doesn't say Jazz, but that's just
Helps.
keep that in the back pocket.
Like a Nathan
okay?
for you thing to where Utah can't sue you.
Yeah. Just like, exactly. Just like get with your lawyers and clear whatever legal bar you have to, and just don't call it Jazz, but still use maybe like something that feels or looks a lot like the logo, the colors, and just for a night. That'd be a lot of fun as well. I mean, what I really can't wait for is a little in-season tournament action, boys. Maybe the Pelicans will finally show up with a little juice now that a trophy's on the line. All right. There is a ton to get to, and as I said, most of it from Brian Kelly yesterday was all about Jayden Daniels. He was asked about Jayden Daniels off the field and what's made him so special this offseason. Here is Kelly 2.
He's never been a guy that has built a bubble around himself. He has been a guy that has made himself available to everybody on the team, whether it's an offensive player or a defensive player. He's always been somebody that has reached out to others on our football team. And I just think that's made our entire team embrace him. His demeanor, his personality, you see him smiling on the sideline all the time. That's the way he is, whether he's in meetings or whether he's in the football building. He has that personality, and I think it's infectious.
Yeah, and that sounds obvious, but I don't know. Sometimes with quarterbacks, you never quite know, especially a transfer quarterback. That is a position that sometimes can feel a little separate, potentially.
Bob, remember
not
when he transferred in and the Arizona State players were trashing his locker room and talking trash about him, and we didn't know anything about him at all, really. And it's like, what's this about? Like you didn't
know if was it just him being salty, or was he maybe kind of you didn't know his character at that point. Like maybe he wasn't one of the boys.
Like in the day and age of the transfer portal, like we don't really see players get mad when a player leaves their team.
No,
like we always talk about like we would probably get mad back in the day because it wasn't the norm, but now it is the norm, and we just don't see that. Like when a guy transfers, he transfers, and when you play against him, like you're dapping it up after the game on social media, you act like you're still teammates, and that's just what it is. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't have a feeling towards it, but they were trashing. It's funny, actually. It was an old LSU transfer that was one of the guys in the video, but, I mean, they were just trashing Trevez Moore.
Don't remember.
I know who that is.
Yeah,
DN?
3-4 DN.
Pass rusher?
Yeah.
Played that Arden Key style.
Yeah.
I mean, when he came in, he was like a high 4, low 5 star. I mean, people really thought he was going to be the next thing, and he left after like a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll talk recruiting a bit later on, but that's actually a nice little foreshadowing of a bit of that conversation and how it's going to go. Yeah. So that's a great point, Jake. Like we didn't fully know why his teammates felt so strongly in that regard, and it was a potential red flag, but. Well, now we see the potential went unrealized.
Maybe they just knew how good he was.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And they're damn it.
Yeah, and they're like, man, we're about to suck because we just lost our best player, which it certainly looks like that's the case. Brian Kelly was asked, have you ever had a quarterback make this level of jump? This is Kelly 3.
I'd be hard-pressed to think of a quarterback that has made the kind of leap that he has made to where now you're looking at somebody that is clearly a front runner for the Heisman Trophy. And I don't know that I've had somebody make that kind of jump. And I think that it starts with it was in him. And I think he had that upside. And it's probably one of the things that we saw in wanting him to transfer here is that we saw a player that could be elite. And it was a matter of him having the confidence in himself and then the development process needed to take place. So I think all of those things coming together and then having the confidence in himself to go out and do it. And it certainly has been fun to watch.
And speaking of the development process, here is Brian Kelly talking about the offseason plan for Jayden Daniels. This is Kelly 13, Mario, and how he was able to make this just massive kind of unprecedented improvement.
Once he made the decision that he was coming back for another season, it was then, okay, well, here's the plan. We laid out a comprehensive plan that went from January all the way until preseason camp. You know, he invested in it as well. You know, he used his own resources to, throw out on the West Coast and spend time with, people that allowed him to develop. So this was an all-in on both sides, and including Jayden wanting to, put himself in the best position once he made that decision.
So Joe Sloan and Brian Kelly literally created a plan that had a schedule and benchmarks and goals from the offseason till the start of camp. That is a strong re-recruiting pitch, right? And in the age of the portal and everything else, where players can leave and re-recruitment becomes like an entire new silo of resources that you have to fill, knowing that level of effort is put in to getting a player to come back and just helping a player improve, right? But really selling them on the plan, it's kind of, Derek's binder-esque, right? They showed him the binder and it sold him on coming back. And it's one thing to see a plan. It's an entirely different thing to go and execute it. And that's just where Jayden Daniels' incredibly hard work came into play.
And also selling the plan to someone who last year, I know we keep talking about the leap, and he did make a leap. There's no denying that. But talking a player into coming back and working that hard for someone who threw for 3,000 yards a year ago, 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His quarterback rating was 145 last year. He ran for almost 900 yards a year ago and 12 touchdowns, right? So it's not like he had this awful season where it's like, hey, we think we can get something out of you. No, he was good last year. He wasn't Heisman Trophy good, but he was a good football player. That's why he had the hype he had coming into this year. That's why he was the first team All-SEC quarterback. And so for a young man to take that information, even though he had a very solid season in the SEC, and realize that he could be better, that he could continue to work to get to another level, because that's not easy to talk a young man into. And so everybody involved, him knowing that he could be better and putting in the work, and even on his own dime, like BK said, but also the coaching staff putting a plan together, seeing the small things that he could do to get better.
And speaking of getting better, I mean, when you think about it, he did have a good year last year, but it also was incredibly clear on what he needed to improve on, right? It was 7 yards per attempt. It wasn't pushing the ball downfield. He didn't really know how to go through his progressions fully. And these are a couple of my favorite answers from yesterday's press conference. His is Kelly 14, where he's seen Jayden Daniels improve the most.
Pushing the ball down the field with accuracy. I think we all watch games and watch the quarterback, as I call it, ice the puck, throw it out of bounds, not have a chance to make a catch. He's been so good at the deep ball and, being able to hook up on those big plays. I think, one of the things that we do, in fact, lead the country in is plays over 20 yards, plays of 20 plus, 87 of them. And that has to do with certainly runs after the catch, which we're prolific in, but the ability to throw the football down the field would be one. I would say 2 was in the pocket progressions. I think that is equally as impressive in terms of his development.
Real quick before we comment on it, let's expound on the progressions a little bit and the recognition. This is Kelly 18.
You would think that there's got to be a way to defend him. Saturday night, they overload pressured. And what their hope was with overload pressure and then faking overload pressure, that there could be some confusion for him. It took him probably 2 or 3 times to see it, and then once he saw it, he was able to handle it. So the big difference is with him is last year that might have taken him 2 games. He sees it a couple of times. We're able to make the adjustments for him, and then he moves forward. And then if you don't have another look for him, you're going to have some problems. And that's where he has made incredible jumps.
And that's probably my favorite answer of the entire press conference yesterday, Jake, because that speaks to all of the improvement that he's made and just that, like, when you have the physical skill set, and you got to think about quarterback. It is one of the wildest jobs on the entire planet because it requires just a mind-boggling combination of mental and physical skill set. There's a ton of guys that are smart enough. I mean, not a ton, but there are guys who are smart enough that just can't hack it physically, right?
Yeah.
There are guys who physically are awesome, but they can't hack it mentally. I mean, think about it. From an NFL perspective, there's what? 15 human beings, if we're being kind, 15 human beings at any given time that play at a level that fans deem acceptable. Yeah. I mean, Derek Carr's probably around the 15, 16 mark, and people don't think he's very good at all. And so it's one of those situations where it's incredibly tough, right? But what you've seen out of Jayden Daniels, he had the physical skill set, but he even improved there. Like we talked about pushing the ball downfield, his accuracy got better. But now when you combine the mental strength that he has unlocked, being able to read defenses, be able to go through progressions, like it's funny. I like Jayden Daniels in the pocket even more than on the run now. He feels so much more dangerous. He's reached that incredible spot as a fan where when he goes to throw the ball, I basically already have my hand in the air. Like if I see him throwing in rhythm, I know it's about to be a big-time play, and I'm already getting excited every time he drops back.
It's like when Lane Kiffin used to throw his play sheet up in the air. It's the same thing. It's like when he just drops back, takes a read, and then just hits that back foot and lets it go. I'm just like, I'm like, oh, got him. I don't even know where the ball's going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You just know that he's got him, right? And so what Kelly's talking about there is so true. How do you defend him? You want to commit extra numbers and try to confuse him? Well, he's going to burn you because you're going to play man, and he's not confused. And he's going to go through his progressions and find the open man. Okay, well, you want to hang back and play coverage? He'll still probably find the hole in the zone if he wants, but if he doesn't, he's just going to run on you. And, like, what do you do? Go look at the 50-yard touchdown run and watch him just slice through a zone defense like a hot knife through butter. Just absolute peak athleticism mixed with peak mental skill set and elite throwing ability, the accuracy. How do you defend Jayden Daniels? It's become an impossible proposition.
We talked about Florida and what they did before the game, and for him to recognize it because they try to trick you. They bring a ton of pressure. They try to bring it from different levels, from different people, and that's how they've had success. And they try to kind of live in the chaos, and that's what they've done. That's who they were going to be, and they did the same thing in this game. I mean, they blitzed 66% of the time. They brought the nickel 10% of the time, just like we talked about. They brought the corner 5% of the time. They simulated pressure 24% of the time, like he's talking about. I mean, so those are not easy. Even if you know they're coming, even if you prepare for them, right, those aren't easy. And then they did it where they had an overload look, and he was able to handle it. That is not a easy defense to be able to be as clean as he was. You can have success, but just to be as clean, not to have a mistake, not to take a couple of sacks, because they're trying to confuse you by bringing guys from multiple places. I mean, they brought 7+ 10 times in this game.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like 10% of the time, you're bringing 7+ guys.
And they paid. And look, the tight ends and running backs did a great job in pass pro. And then you just can't man up Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas. You know, I mean, you could try, but unless you got, like, Alabama's the only one that even get close because they have the best secondary in the entire country. And if that ain't you in trouble, dog. But you can't really play zone either. You can't really do anything. 80 plays of plus 20 yards. Are you kidding me? It's just been fantastic.
That's why you have to knock the quarterback out of the game.
And so, again, yeah, for real. It's Jayden Daniels, not just his pre-study during the week, but now he's gotten so mentally strong like the Borg. He sees it. He understands it. and then he counters it. And he can do that all within the games. They would have taken him 2 to 3 games last year. He's doing it in 2 series this year. That's a Heisman winner. All right, when we get back, I maybe have 1 or 2 more answers I want to get to, and then I want to get into some Saints, the Saints roller coaster and how we should kind of interpret and deal with it. As always, youtube.com/1045ESPN. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. Boys, today is the day. Going to trade in the Camry. It's been a fun 3 years leasing it, but Papa Bear needs more room, okay? Second minivan incoming, which means my wife gets a new car. But that's cool because it's not quite murdered out.
I was about to ask you, what is this one? Is it black as well?
I believe it's black. I've never seen it. She's seen it, so I'm going to see it today. I believe it's black as well. I don't think it's got the murdered out wheels. Maybe a little.
Imagine.
I might do something about that. Maybe I'll do you ever seen the Sienna with the lift kit on it and the big old tires, Taylor? Should I do that?
I've never seen it.
It seems like a waste of money, but I might.
Yeah, it does.
See. Anyway, I'm super pumped. Murder Out Mini's about to be mine full time. Let's ride, boys. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
You can get your own Murdered Out Mini on the website. Create that today, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to...
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sean Salisbury's joining us to talk some quarterbacks. Shay Dixon on recruiting. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Champ of the chat saying that part of my takes now on the Jayden bandwagon. Hell yes. That'll certainly help quite a bit. Jake, you were hanging out with the Bus with the Boys guys in the stadium, right?
Yes.
We'll come Taylor on. I'm sure after that game, they got to be on the bandwagon as well. I don't think they could answer anyone else.
They were on it
Not
before.
even J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Well, I didn't talk to Taylor about it, but Will, he was on it before.
Okay, hell yeah.
He was. That's one of the conversations we were having, and then we talked about Rich Bisaccia for about 15 minutes.
We got to give them better. We got to give you my boy G-String, but you got to give the famous visiting guest something cooler than that purple shirt they had, purple coaches. I don't know. Am I crazy? I mean, maybe send Taylor the picture. People know what I'm talking about. I just think we probably have cooler LSU merch.
Yeah, it's just a purple LSU thermal long sleeve with just a plain LSU on it.
Yeah.
We got cooler stuff.
That's what I'm saying. We got way cooler stuff. We could do better. All right. What was the last answers? Okay, here it is. So Kelly, like I said yesterday, constantly Kelly was talking about clearly he's the Heisman front runner. Clearly he's the Heisman front runner. And then he was asked about, you've been in this for a while. When it comes to campaigning for player awards, do you feel like you have to be emphatic, or do you kind of let it take care of itself?
I used to be low-key about it, to be quite frank with you. But when you have the opportunity today, I think you have to be able to talk about your players when they're doing something that's so special, and in particular what Jayden's doing. I think it's my responsibility when I have this opportunity in front of the media to talk about something that I haven't seen happen in my 3+ decades as a head football coach, somebody that has developed and has excelled at an elite level. He's an exciting football player. I think he's the most exciting football player individually in the country, and I think it's my responsibility to talk about it.
So not really mincing any words there. Continue to say that he is clearly he should be the Heisman winner. And look, we'll talk recruiting here in a little bit. Just touch on it. We're not going to spend a bunch of time on it, right? But one of the recruiting names that's constantly floating around now, and I don't know the latest on it, but is the number 1 quarterback, Bryce Underwood, right? That's the 2025 class, I believe, Taylor. And I really thought this was quite interesting. This is Kelly 4. And it's how this Jayden Daniels Heisman pitch, is this something that you can carry forward in recruiting?
Well, I think in certain instances, if Jayden Daniels was coming back next year, it certainly affects it in some fashion. Or let's say he was a sophomore, it certainly would affect it a little bit, right? But now that he is certainly in his last season of competition, it opens up just the fact that player development and the ability to compete for the Heisman Trophy exists at LSU, because it's not only right now, but it happened a few years ago with another LSU quarterback. So now you're starting to build not an accident, but a trend here at LSU. So that obviously speaks to recruiting and the ability to recruit elite quarterbacks to LSU.
So there was a long time there where LSU was like the elephant graveyard from Lion King, right? There were just bones of former 4-star quarterbacks littered throughout the fields, and it felt like that was going to be who you were. And even now, you can feel how slowly brand image turns, right? Because people think about LSU, they still think the Tigers should be good on defense. Mm-hmm. It still feels a bit surprising to see an offensive, a mainly offensive LSU football team.
Well, and an offensive defense.
Yeah, I was going to say, The defense is offensive in its own way. Yeah. But so really everything's offensive on this team. but it's so true. I mean, we're now twice. If Jayden Daniels wins the Heisman, 2 quarterback Heisman winners within half a decade of each other, with completely different staffs, completely different cast of characters, it speaks to a place that has certain advantages. And maybe that's because you have great skill positions. We can really try to dissect the anatomy of how that is, but it speaks to a place that has great advantages that can set a young quarterback up for success, which is a vision that, not only can you sell to high school cats like Underwood, but maybe even more importantly to your transfers. Yeah. Given that both guys are transfers. Because remember, we went through the athletic study last year, and if you sign a 5-star quarterback, there's actually now a less than 50% chance that he stays, even if he plays. Guys just leave. It just is what it is. So maybe actually, now that we're talking this out, even more importantly, it comes from selling transfers on what you can be if you come here.
There's so many things that you could sell with that. I mean, hey, in 2 years, like 2 quarterbacks in like a 5-year period, we've got the Heisman Trophy winner at that position. Not when Jason White at Oklahoma or Troy Smith at Ohio State won the Heisman either, right? Kind of, I don't want to say by default, but a little bit, right? Their seasons were okay. They were okay, and they got the Heisman Trophy. We're talking about like generational type record-breaking stats that both of those quarterbacks had. And so not only would they have won the Heisman, they would have done it with like elite special seasons that we haven't really ever seen before. And so I think that also makes it go up a notch. And you have to be able to recruit at a high level at that position when you can say that, hey, these guys, Joe Burrow wasn't even playing at Ohio State. They didn't realize what he had. He comes to LSU, and then he does what he does. Right, Jayden Daniels was good at Arizona State, but he couldn't unlock what he did here at LSU. There's so many different ways that you could recruit to that, and it is wild because like LSU was a graveyard for a very, very long time, and you would have obviously like we could go back in history, like you had a run where you had Jamarcus and Flynn and Perilou on the same team, like so you've had really good quarterbacks, but this changes the game. If you're able to win another Heisman Trophy, bring in top talent, you can possibly bring in the number 1 quarterback in the country out of high school. You've got a solid backup right now that we all think is going to do some big things next year as well. So if you can continue, that's what you have to do. Like,
yearly success.
And then you build off of it.
It's not going to be yearly Heisman, but that's what bums me out about the Miles.
But it was for Oklahoma for a while. I mean, you can be somewhat in that category.
That's what bums me out though about the Miles Brennan portion of this equation is that he was going to be statistically overwhelming in 2020. Like that Mizzou game, he had improved every week. That Mizzou game, he was absolutely popping off. And then their momentum kind of got arrested. And even though there were some good performances within, it took you a couple of years to kind of refine it. So, yeah, Nuss could potentially represent a nice continuation, even though that's a lot of pressure, Bo. A lot of pressure.
It is, but if there's one mentality that is going to accept the challenge, it's probably going to be Garrett Nussmeier.
It's true, and maybe we'll get to watch.
Because that ain't for everybody.
Maybe we'll get to watch him versus Notre Dame in the Real Quest Bowl, which is what Action Network has LSU doing. I would love that matchup. I mean,
always.
The thing about a bowl game is if you're not going to play a New Year's Six and like kind of the prestige is gone, then like I want to play a good team. Actually, I don't know. I guess Purdue was kind of fun last year, just watching them smash and then. Hop in the Cheez-It bed.
I mean, I'm not completely.
Prince Chedward.
The coach is getting mad. I'm not completely convinced that, like, Jayden would sit out. Like, I'm not saying that that's 100%.
No, I mean, look, I almost want him to sit out though. If it's a like New Year's Six,
I understand what you're saying. But I'm saying his mentality. I don't know that that's a sure thing.
I know, but it's like I just don't. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. He's awesome. And like I said, we go enjoy these last 2 weeks. That was the message last week. It remains the message this week.
Could be a Devin White situation. I always loved that he played in the Fiesta Bowl, which Hester's rocking the Fiesta Bowl hoodie. Top 5 picks.
But I would say the only difference was
he wanted to come back.
Yeah, he wanted to come back.
Like, he wanted to come back for another year. And Coach O's like, dog, you're going to be a top 5 pick. I'd love for you to come back. But you got to go to the draft. Like, that's who he was.
Also, though, that Fiesta Bowl really, really meant something to that team and wiping the bad taste of A&M and 74, 72 out the mouth and all that stuff. Like, maybe I'm wrong when this all shakes out. I think that Fiesta Bowl will likely have more juice than whatever else she's playing in this year. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. All right, when we get back here at OTB, let's talk a little New Orleans Saints. Keep it locked right here, 104.5 ESPN.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
So as you can see, we talked a lot of LSU so far this morning, and what's the official tequila of LSU Athletics? Tequila. Noel, Family Distillery. I love the Blanco, though I know many of you out there are Reposado. I like 1 or 2 Reposado drinks But and then because they're finishing the rum barrels, right? So it's got a little extra sweetness to it. It tastes very good. But, I kind of sometimes just need that more dry kind of plain old burn. And it feels so good. Tastes so good. Put it to the test, man. Everybody's been doing it at Don Juan. Everybody's been telling me about it, how much they love it. Brain's obsessed, Brian Haldane. Go check them out today. Noel Family Distillery. Ask your local liquor store, bar, wherever.
Rums, tequila, vodka, canned cocktails, a lot of different options you're going to have there. Canned cocktails, something we've been telling you over the last couple of days. Try those out as well. NoelDistillery.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Sandgrove, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We're at Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
welcome back. Off the bench, 104.5 ESPN. Let's talk about your New Orleans Saints. The roller coaster rides on. Heading into the bye week, you're 5-5. You got a really big matchup with the Falcons on the other side of the bye week, a chance to go up 2 full games on Atlanta. You really cannot screw that up. Is that in Atlanta? I can't remember.
Yes, the next one's in Atlanta.
And, it's interesting. I don't know that I've ever quite seen a season as up or down as the one the Saints were in, where one week we come in and we're like, all right, dude, hey, maybe they're actually okay. Maybe they're pretty good. Look at the weapons, Taysom Hill. And then the next week we come in and, they look – and they just look terrible. It's not like they just look like bad or below par, but, actively terrible. Getting down to Josh Dobbs Viking and that's not – disrespect against Dobbs as much as it is just an acknowledgement of this is a top 10 NFL defense, and Josh Dobbs got there a week ago. They should not be able to go up 24-3 in the first half, and you saw that in the second half, right? I mean, they scored 3. Yeah. So you saw more of what it should have been like from the beginning. So again, it's not just that the Saints show up the next week and they're okay. They're so actively bad that it's infuriating. And so it's causing this rift in the fan base where some of us are saying, hey, enjoy the journey, enjoy the wins. Winning's always fun. Win the division's fun. And then the other side's like, well, yeah, I kind of agree, but I don't want ownership in the front office to get negative reinforcement, right? Where you win an awful division and maybe you're not that good, but you're like, hey, we won the division. So, we did a good job and everything was all the people we hired, everything was great. So that is where I think, if we on the outside can see that, then you would hope, obviously, they can as well, right? And so you would hope that the front office and the decision makers would be able to enjoy the results and try to produce maximum results while also acknowledging what is clearly deficient, Just because you win a bad division does not mean no changes need to take place. And that's what I'll be interested to see out of the New Orleans Saints this offseason, right? Are you willing to make necessary changes after the year to address your issues? And there's multiple levels to this, right? Maybe it's like we talked about yesterday, drafting a quarterback in the first round, even though you have somewhat of a financial commitment to Carr, but it's really not that long-term of a commitment at all. And it doesn't matter. You should try to get better at every position every year anyway. And so if you have a guy and you score him very high, a la Jayden Daniels or something, or anybody, right? I mean, there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out this year. If you have a guy that you believe in, go take that man. Try to get better at that position in both the short term and the long term. Maybe it's an OC change, right? I don't care if you win the division. I don't have a ton of faith in Pete Carmichael. It's too questionable. It feels too behind the times. It just doesn't work in this new era of Saints football. So it's not consistent enough. It's just not. And then you get into maybe even going to the full extremity and doing a head coaching change. And now I look, the Saints are very hesitant to do that anyway. So I doubt they would do that if they actually finish out and they manage to win a division, even if it is at a 9-8 or something like that. And it's gone awry in the past. If you look at firing a Monty Williams with the Pelicans after making the playoffs. But I guess all I'm saying, Jake, is I hope that the decision makers and leaders can look at the team, enjoy the success, but also be objective about this was good, but in many ways not good enough. How do you fix it?
I think Texas A&M needs to bring Dennis Allen home. I just think that, that works out for everybody.
NFL head coach, it's a home run, dude.
Yeah, he was a player there. I think that would really shore up some things for everyone involved. We talk about his record all the time, as far as what the overall record is, 20-43 now. But it's really getting time where we start talking about he's 12-15 in New Orleans. So it's not just his time in Oakland. Now you're 3 games under 500 with a talented roster in a very poor division in which you finished 3rd in a year ago.
Yeah.
This year you stayed pretty healthy for the most part, certainly compared to other times in recent memory for the Saints. And so that conversation needs to be had. Also, right, when you're looking for consistency in the NFL, they haven't gotten that. You win 2 games, you lose 2 games. You win a game, you lose 2 games. You win 2 games, you lose a game. I mean, the roller coaster that you're talking about, T, it's been in full force all season long. You cannot keep consistency. Like you start to win some games and then you lose 2 in a row. It's like it's just up and down, ebbs and flows. And like you'll get excited about the win streaks. Like when you beat the Colts on the road, you came back and you beat the Bears. It's like, all right, here we go. You got an opportunity against the quarterback that's been there about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Top defense, like you said, T, right? Down their best weapon in Jefferson. Let's go find a way. And then you get beat by the obvious guy, like on offense.
Yeah,
like
TJ Hawkins, like the only weapon they have left.
You get beat by the obvious choice. And so those are the things that are so frustrating for Saints fans. It's because you're looking for that consistency. You're looking for them because they should have gone into Minnesota against everybody that they had available, and you should have won that game.
I mean, look at how hapless the Vikings offense was in the second half. Like that's what it should have been like for 90% of the game. It's the NFL. Maybe they get a couple drives. It should have never jumped out to 24-3.
No, because then, I mean, you get into a situation where you can't do the things that you've been really good at. Once you get down like that in the NFL, it's 2 minute. You're in 2 minute for the rest of the game.
But that's also why I have a quibble with Pete Carmichael. You get the ball back with 11 minutes left. You're down 1 score, and you just don't run it on a day when you're averaging 5 yards a carry.
We talked about it yesterday. I agree with you. And they stayed like in that 2 minute mode for the entire game, even when they got it to 1 score. I don't get behind that. All right, because, again, let's go back to it. Like, you've had success because you've used everybody, the totality of your weapons on offense, and you've used Taysom Hill in 1 carry. He had more catches than he had carries in this game.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, I don't know why they won't consistently, like, come up with a game plan that is a winning game plan. It's just, it's all over the place. And when they have success, it's like they get too comfortable. And they're like, no. We got to go the opposite way. And they felt like they were chasing points like they were down 3 scores when they were down 8 multiple times in that game.
And so I guess my overall message is, like, as we see these 2 camps in the Who Dat Nation start to emerge, understand you can have a foot in both. You can enjoy the wins, but you can still be upset with things and call for changes to be made after the season, regardless of how good things finish up. Like, just recognize if you win this division, which is very fun, and I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you do. Like, I want to win every game. It's just more fun, whatever. Like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you're afraid that the Saints won't make changes, I understand that, but I still don't think it should ever extend to the point to cheer for a loss, because hopefully the front office will be forward-thinking enough to be honest about the issues. And I feel like I don't know if they will. They like to pride themselves on not being very reactive. But if they don't, well, then that's when you turn up the temperature and start to levy criticism, and that's where I won't do this again next year if this plays out like that. So we'll see. Coming up next, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
CommunitySteelCo.com. CommunitySteelCo.com. It's a community steel company. There's a local steel based in Gonzales, Louisiana, man. They're incredible. Go get in touch. The live and local sales team. You can go right there on site and check out. I mean, and they're growing, bro. They're actually doubling in size. There's already like 15,000 square feet. It's over doubling now. All the Purlin tubing, steel building. It's all there for you. You can go touch it, feel it, see the product. And because they go straight to the wholesaler, no middleman jacking up the price in the back end for you. Go to CommunitySteelCo.com.
And once you go to that website, you're going to see it's a brand new website. You're also going to see based in Gonzales, Louisiana. It's the first thing that they want you to see because they want you to realize that they are local, right? No Dallas, no Houston, Atlanta, anywhere, Nashville, no, right here. And you can get that done. You get it done extremely fast because it is right here. 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel Infinitely you.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
Sunday as we bring you 3 different NFL games. We start with the noon kickoff, Chargers at Packers. Then immediately following that, it's the Buccaneers and 49ers. And then our night game, the Vikings and Broncos. Check out all 3 of those games here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I go to train electricals when I'm sitting next to you. Electricity starts to flow and my indicator starts to glow. Woo! I'm just a love machine and I won't work for nobody but you. I'm just a love machine.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
G-string, it's all love, dog. You know that. You know that. You the man.
Put it in the bag,
And, you know,
G-string.
there's really cool things that LSU has
That's
as
all
far
I'm
as
saying.
apparel.
That's all I'm saying.
And a purple thermal, you know.
Also, shout out to Aaron Pico. All-Star Toyota. Aaron texted me. It is already murdered out, black on black. So, dual murdered minis. Are you kidding me? Have I died and gone to vehicular heaven?
All right, well, yeah. I think I'm jealous.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
I am jealous. I'm jealous of your murdered out Mini.
I
I love my Toyota, but you're making it sound better and better.
Jason Sexsnyder says, if we somehow win this terrible division, Gail can use it as an excuse to increase season ticket prices again. Oh, wait, she did that even when we didn't make the playoffs. Yeah, ownership is kind of the leadership of the Saints and Pelicans right now. They kind of need a win in the fans' eyes. Between the just awful Bally contract, a Pelicans team that will excite you one night and be so lifeless the next. I guess not unlike the Saints in that regard. Yeah, they definitely need a bit of a win. John says it's not about the offseason, it's about the now. You aren't winning a Super Bowl with check down Charlie. Some people are afraid to admit their mistakes. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know that. So I guess this is where it gets weird. You sign people trying to get better, right? But did anybody think when you signed Derek Carr that you were going to win a Super Bowl? Like in the front office, even, I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
probably not.
do they sign Derek Carr, Jake, and think that they're going to win a Super Bowl? Because I know that's supposed to be the goal, but like, don't you also just? But you got to sign a better player, and you may be like, yeah, but he's not like Super Bowl good.
That's a great question. And with this roster, like I think it's on the fringe probably.
Mm.
But if they're being realistic, maybe not. But I think you look at the totality of the roster and you're like, man, it's got pieces all over the place. And we just need that one solidifying quarterback. The guy's going to make enough plays. The guy's not going to turn the ball, all those things. And so I can actually see them talking themselves into that being enough to be able to make a run.
To me, it was always about trying to make yourself like just relevant and continuing to win while you kind of build in the background. We can continue to break it down here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. Thank you for smashing the like button right now. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Okay, you want to feel younger, faster, stronger. You got mood, memory problems, facial aging, weight gain you can't explain, workouts not giving you the benefits that they used to. All of it, man. They understand the aging process. They understand how to combat it for males and females, and I don't care. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. They got you, man. Get your labs drawn. And it's basically just like a general health check as well. Figure out what's going on inside your body and let them customize a plan for you. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Go ahead and get that consultation set up today. You can do it on the website that T-Bob just gave you there because maybe you've got something going on, but you just don't know what it is. And that's what they are there for. They are there to help you get to the bottom of it. You go in, you get your labs drawn, and they help you get on a plan to get back to feeling like your youthful self. Get that consultation set up today, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, November 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 64. Coming up on OTB, we talk to Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football at 9 a.m. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo! What up? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 2. I apologize, G-String. I don't think he was directly like a head coach. He may not have been directly aware of the equipment that was handed out to the bus with the boys.
Lack of institutional control.
But you know, how purposeful is that? Like Jim Harbaugh technically, not having contact with Connor Stallions, does that mean he's not ultimately responsible? I don't know. You're still the head coach. And to be fair, String did text us and said, but ultimately, I'm still responsible. So there you go. See, like a good man taking the strays that we are sending his way very randomly here on a Monday morning. Like, I don't even know why I keep talking about this. Guaranteed nobody really knows what we're talking about. We haven't even showed a picture of it. And most of y'all are listening on radio anyway. Anyway, welcome in hour number 2 here on OTB. Remember, our opening salvo brought to you by Skull Axe Throwing, GCAxe.com. GCAxe.com. Boys, I was thinking about it. I meant to text you, but I chose to do it live here on air. I want to set up a little Thursday night Team OTB axe adventure. You want to go chunk some axes, some Viking stuff? This Thursday, okay?
I'm down.
Clear your schedules. Get ready.
Yeah, I'm down. As long as Mario stays in front of me.
What day?
Fair. Absolutely fair.
Yeah.
This Thursday.
This Thursday? Can't do it. Seriously, I can't.
Why not?
I am calling a basketball game. Or working a basketball game, I should say.
Wait, what do you mean working?
What do you mean working?
You said calling it, then you said
working.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it for Episcopal High School. They needed a fill-in, so.
Well, maybe you should find a fill-in.
Yeah.
For the fill-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's play here. Because this is work, This is your job.
Yeah.
And the
This
boys
is your
need
9
you.
to 5.
Like, it says it right there. It says girls' night out right there. But also boys' night out as well, okay? And date night fun. You can bring the wife.
Team builders, that's what we're trying to do.
Geez.
Sorry, y'all threw this on me today. I didn't know.
Oh, so now you're
it's Tuesday. You have 48 hours to find a replacement.
It is Tuesday.
So, okay, if you're listening, one of y'all replace Taylor on the Episcopal basketball game so he can throw some axes. GCAxe.com. Code EARLYBIRD gets you 20% off. Let's go. Let's throw some axes, boys. You know me. I love axe. Always have. I guess I actually really did like the body spray and stuff back in high school. But who didn't in high school, right? It was a different time. GCX.com. Skull Axe. Right there off of Lee. I can't wait.
It was a different time.
I mean, it was a different time, right? Like, do you know a single adult that is still rocking Axe body spray?
I hope not. There might be.
No.
Mario?
No.
Taylor?
No, so I use Old Spice as far as stick, and then if I need body spray, I use Degree.
Oh, okay.
I have some in my desk.
I've gone full. Oh, that's good to know. I'll probably be hitting you
The
up.
Degree? Yeah.
Because T-Bob is about
50-50.
Yeah.
Even though I do have I'm a, like, I don't know. I've tried like a million of the different like natural deodorants trying to find like a good one because I don't know. Don't the other ones?
Well, the good
give
thing
you
about this
cancer
one
or
is
something?
like I think the scent is literally like called like clean linen or something. So it literally just smells fresh. Like it's not like would they have the Axe like chocolate? Remember that one?
No, Axe. I mean, Axe was out of control. Axe. The only better advertising campaigns than Axe were BOD. Do you remember BOD? The body spray were just like super shredded.
Axe always made it super sexual. Like their chocolate, it smelled like chocolate, but it was called like
Dark Desire or something like that. I'm like, what are we doing, guys?
A chocolate body spray sounds like the worst idea I've ever heard.
I never
in my
had it, but I
entire
used to
life.
smell it in the store. I was like, what does this smell like? It was chocolate.
0% chance the bod marketing campaign would fly today. I remember Jerry the King Lawler used to be the spokesman for it, and WWE used to push it all the time.
Yeah, it was an exceedingly horny ad campaign, to be sure. To be sure. Also, I used to always be a little self-conscious where maybe if I ever engaged in some extracurricular activities and had to go do something, you'd like want to cover up the smell, so you end up just like bathing yourself in Axe. But then you have the awful paranoia of I smell, oh my God, I smell like too much Axe. Like you can smell me coming from a mile away right now. This is absurd.
What are you trying to cover up?
Look, Champ says it right here, dude. My 17-year-old's truck smells like an Axe factory. I know. When you're in high school, you want Axe. Eventually, you age out of it. Like my deodorant now, it's called like Salt and Stone, and it's like a natural deodorant. Blah 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 blah. Works pretty well though. I actually really like it.
When you remember to put it on.
As you get older, like your deodorant changes, but your body wash changes also. Like you don't have like the, you know what I mean? Like you don't have like the kid body wash anymore.
I've never been, that is fair. Yes, I used to be in high school like loofah and like probably like Axe body wash or something as well, right? Or something in that family. But actually for the most part of my life, I've always just been a straight bar soap guy.
Yeah,
Still to this day.
I was, but like my wife was like, look, I bought you like 3 different kinds and all that. So I'm using them now.
See, but that's where it gets a bit interesting as well is I remember the Chappelle Show episode where they did the wife swap. And is it a black-white thing? Like, do white people use just straight bars of soap, and then do black people use washcloths more consistently? See, this is the problem with not having enough representation on the show. We need to go to our delegation, perhaps Big Fave. We could text him, see what the truth of the matter is.
But don't give him any background. Be like, hey, Big Fave, what's your shower routine?
Well,
man?
Fave was texting us. So,
okay.
Also, that's a very weird text to send to somebody out of nowhere.
It 100% is.
Mar, are you a bar of soap guy?
It honestly, it varies. I normally do body wash, but in my personal experience, what you're saying about the race dynamics is kind of true.
Now, in terms of body wash, are you boys using a loofah or just straight body wash?
I use straight body wash.
But isn't that highly ineffective? Like, if you use a loofah, it feels like a dot of body wash will soap up like 7 adult males.
I mean, I don't
Whereas
use
if you just do body wash.
I don't use a dot, though. I mean, I do like big squirt chest area, big squirt leg area.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like terribly efficient. Like one big squirt, you could bathe this entire room if you had a loofah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just so efficient. You should use one. I use one.
So you are a loofah guy.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
I thought it was called a fupa, but that's something entirely
what?
different.
Fupa is
something
completely
different, Bo.
Yeah, I got corrected.
The fupa is what you. I was always like trying to see what the anatomy of my 3rd grade teacher broke down. I just didn't understand it. I'm like, what is that part of the body? Why is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that where it is? Front there?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's huge.
I know what a loofah is.
Bilbo saying
My
loofahs are
3rd
terrible
grade
for your skin. Okay, look, you can get. All I'm saying is body wash is interesting because if you just raw dog body wash, it does not go very far. But if you use it in concert with a tool, it goes like super far. Like there's just a massive disparity of efficiency between loofah or tool and no tool. This is supposed to be the part of the show with the most listenership in which we get into the real stories of the day. So, who's going to be your playoff top 4?
Do they use loofahs?
Boys. Yeah, which if we ran through the SEC coaches, who would use a loofah? I don't know that I'm getting loofah vibes from anyone.
Definitely not Saban.
Bilbo says loofahs are a breeding ground for E. coli, and you're actively destroying your skin on purpose. Alvo, how old were you when you found out that loofah was I mean, surely there's the
bacteria, as I'm getting sent an article here, bacteria on one is not great.
So that is always to be honest, that is what's kind of worried me out of loofah at times, because I've gone through stretches where I've used them, is you're not drying them fully out. So they are sitting there wet and kind of on top of each other. Like it's built
they're
on
wet
top
in a
of it.
warm environment of a shower, which is just like a hotbed.
Oh, come on, man. There's so many germs everywhere. Probably touching germs now.
And body wash is antibacterial, though, so it's...
You gotta use the dial.
Yeah, you got the bacteria on the loofah, but the antibacterial, the body wash, you're good.
No, I'm saying I don't think body wash is antibacterial.
Dial
Oh,
is.
it's not?
Dial.
Probably not. Some of it.
Not Axe.
No.
But you'll smell good and be clean.
Your Old Spice is probably not antibacterial. You will smell great, and it feels great because your whole body gets really soaked up. Surely, maybe we can find, like, there's kind of organic, better versions of everything nowadays, right? There's got to be a more technologically advanced loofah. If not, we are on the edge of something here, boys.
There we go.
Who can invent something that's going to solve this problem?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Think about it.
Yeah. Shark Tank.
But nobody can do that because we said it first.
If that's still a show.
So legally, if one of y'all listening tries to create it and steals our idea, we get to sue you. And trust us, we got some good guys.
What is it? No, you're stealing the
888-8888. You in trouble, dog.
The intellectual property rule or whatever it is.
Yes, because we said it. It is our intellectual property. That's just legal. Ask Gordon. He can confirm it for you. Somebody asked if anybody uses Sasquatch. I've never used it. I've just seen that like bearded blonde guy with the beautiful blue eyes yell at me about Sasquatch all the time on YouTube.
Yeah. I think Justin Herbert's in one of those commercials.
Yeah. I've seen that.
I just don't know. Like, that guy carved out such a great niche for himself. He's just the male product YouTube pitchman, and he's great at it. I mean, he's got stunning blue eyes, if y'all know who I'm talking
Kind of like the Centaur dude with the Old Spice.
Yes. This is the Old Spice actor. I mean, hell yeah, dude. I mean, you catch on, that would be the dream for a lot of us. I mean, for most of us. If you're like an actor, I'm sure you want to be like, you want to make it and other stuff. Like, okay, the Liberty Bibberty guy. He's one of my brother-in-law's good friends. We're on the bachelor party together years ago. He's a struggling actor. He's on the edge of giving up. He's like, he's kind of getting some stuff here or there, but nothing big. All of a sudden, Liberty Bibberty, bam, saved, full-time actor, paid well, great.
The good-looking one that's like can't get the line out?
No, can't get the line out. He's actually like incredibly nice and not meathead. But whatever, the point is.
Whoa, what's wrong with being a meathead?
No. In that commercial, he plays like the dumb, beautiful guy. He's not like dumb. He is beautiful, though. Sheesh, right?
That's an awesome story, though, at 8:13. I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he was ready to give up, and then he gets like, I wouldn't even love to be Flo. I'd love to be the guy that's just always playing off of Flo. You don't even know his name.
Yeah, he's like assistant or whatever.
Yeah, but he's getting paid, dude, consistently. Every time you play that thing. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Shout out Flo. I looked it up a few years ago, and I think she was pulling in like over $500K a year. And that's probably gone up significantly, even in the last few years. So, shout out.
Like the Jake from State Farm guy. He's rolling in it.
Oh, bro, that guy is murdering it.
Although he's not
he gets to keep hanging out with like really like famous, cool people even outside of the job.
Yes, and he's not even the original Jake from State Farm. The original one was an older guy.
He's an old balding white guy.
Not nearly as attractive.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, maybe no. The balding white guy was the guy on the phone asking.
Yeah. Jake was.
Yeah.
He was.
He was like just a younger, generic, whatever guy.
Yeah, like 30s.
Doesn't matter.
Something like that. Yeah.
He wasn't this Jake. And this
Mayhem from those commercials.
Ooh.
He's actually a pretty good actor.
Ooh, you know Mayhem's getting paid.
Yeah, he was great on Oz on HBO show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's good.
I was thinking about how
he was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine too.
Really?
A couple episodes, yeah.
Okay. And then you have guys like J.K. Simmons, who's out here winning Oscars and stealing Pitchman commercial money. Yeah, get the hell out of here, J.K. You're not allowed to do that once you get that famous. Flo was in an episode of Angel. Whoa, I haven't seen Angel in a long time, man. And then, of course, there's the AT&T girl, who, legend of the game, been at it for years now. Shout out.
Yeah, she's a beast.
There it is, segment number 1. I apologize, guys. I don't know. These are just the way life goes sometimes. When we get back here at OTB, it's time for a little OTB mailbag. So it's not about to get any more reasonable or on the rails. Get all your questions in on the chat, youtube.com/1045ESPN. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon and get it done. We just talked about it, baby. Don't make me call the G team. Okay? You're going to show up with baseball bats at your house talking about, did you create an economically sustainable loofah? Did you create a less bacterial loofah? Well, you stole, we're not really going to show up with bats at your house. I actually don't even know if they would do an IP law. What I do know is if you get in an accident, you need somebody's going to fight for you, get you what you deserve, you get Gordon, you get it done. Follow him on social media at Get Gordon. You'll get great life tips. You'll have great content with your favorite athletes. You'll see the lawyers. You'll get to know the lawyers that will be working on your behalf. It's awesome. Get Gordon, get it done.
T-Bob's wondering if it's a case that they can handle. Well, you go to getgordon.com, T-Bob, and they'll tell you cases that they can handle right there on the website. Past client results as well. You can have a chat with them on the site. Always in Louisiana. Put your area code before 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We'll chat with Glenn West about the Tigers and Sharif Ishak about the Saints and Pels. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Sup, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. Boys hanging out with their man. It's time for a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Everybody's just talking about flow. We need more questions, guys. We've got one right now. This has never happened in the history of mailbag. Hashtag OTB mailbag. This is, I don't even want to ask this question because it's just Nookie trying to take a shot at Moscona. So Taylor pitched something as hokey as the Emperor of Empty Yards when he all just point and laughed. I really doubt fetch is happening.
Who's that?
Yesterday, Moscona called Derek Carr the Emperor of Empty Yards.
I mean, that's kind of funny.
I mean, it's true.
It's kind of
it's
funny.
true. He took the crown from Jameis.
Graham Mertz is right there, hoping he can be that one day at the next level.
I told you, bro. I know. Aspiring to be Kirk Cousins.
That is not Kirk Cousins.
It's kind of Kirk Cousins.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
He may not be emperor, but he's prince.
No.
He's a duke.
No.
He's at least a duke of empty. You don't think Kirk Cousins is a duke of empty yards? That's like that game earlier this year where like Kirk Cousins threw for like, you're like, oh, y'all still talking crap about Cousins because he threw for like 370 and like 4 touchdowns. They never had the ball with a chance to take the lead. Hashtag go to be mailbag. So we had to kill time before we got more questions.
Thank you for moving on from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
Better.
because Mario just can't handle it.
Look, Jameis saw it die, dog. You already know.
Yeah, we saw that. He's cooking. Oh, let me go check that out.
He was cooking.
Burnt.
No.
It's burnt toast,
Burnt.
Jake.
No, he was burning the defense.
Until he wasn't, which is the story of his life.
It's not his fault that Chris Olave doesn't know how to run fast.
Yeah,
Throttling
real slow
down.
Chris Olave.
I miss Drew
Throttling
Brees
down.
a lot.
But we blamed Carr for that same throw earlier in the year.
What?
When Olave wasn't running his route, we blamed Carr for throwing that pass when Olave wasn't running. But now it's Olave's fault when Jameis threw the same pass.
Well, they weren't the same pass. It wasn't the same play.
Saints
the
quarterback
same-
talk makes me physically depressed.
No, Olave wasn't in the read on the other one. He was in the progression there. I don't know what to tell you, Taylor. Hashtag go to be mailbag. Better beer commercial, Budweiser Frogs or what's up? Gotta be what's up.
I don't remember the Budweiser frog.
You're too young. I was very young.
Yeah, I don't remember the Budweiser frog.
Yeah, it's three
I
of
don't
them.
remember why we all loved the Budweiser Frog so much thinking back on it, right?
That's all he said was Bud Wise.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen the clip. Okay,
Yeah.
I have seen a clip of that.
I mean, the What's Up guys were hilarious to me. I still love What's Up.
Yeah, those guys clear.
I used to love the Tabasco commercial where the dude puts it on his pizza and then he gets bit by a mosquito and the mosquito just spontaneously combusts into flame in the air. I like that. That was great. Hashtag go to be mailbag. Can Josh Williams win the Heisman for that block?
You should.
Block was so tight. But again, it wasn't the only tight one he had. On another Daniels scramble, there was a corner crash, a little cowboy, and he hit the corner so hard, the corner landed on his feet, and then his knees buckled. It was awesome. And then he had like the 40-yard catch and play later.
I'll ask one OTB mailbag. Which quarterback do you think leads the NFL in yards per attempt? Like, you know, as far as how many times he's thrown it.
Lamar Jackson.
I'm actually going to go C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud sounds like the
C.J.
answer.
Stroud's third, so it's actually a pretty good guess. Lamar's fifth. Brock Purdy, and then it's not even close. Almost
Wow.
a full yard. 9.3.
Wait a minute.
So hyper efficient and pushing the ball down the field.
Yeah, 2 is second. C.J. Stroud's third. Kirk Cousins is 8, in case you
Brock might be a good QB, guys.
No,
I was not
Brock
wondering.
is a good
Thank you.
QB. Nobody's never said Brock Purdy. Like Brock
Derek
Purdy,
Carr's 25th.
Nobody's ever. Well, that's the least surprising. I'm surprised he's not 33rd. Nobody's ever said that Brock Purdy's not a good quarterback. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What size bra do you think Dennis Allen wears?
Smaller than Sam Pittman.
Yeah,
Whoa,
smaller than Sean
Sam's
Payton.
about to go
yeah,
through
you
something.
do that to Sam, dude. You should have said smaller than Sean Payton.
That was cool when I
Smaller
did
than
it
Sean Payton.
2 months ago.
They're both true.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Going to my first game at Tiger Stadium this weekend, Matt Morris says. Any tips for a first-timer? Just think about baseball. Start running through like starting pitchers and everything when you're getting close, and that should help you maximize what you're dealing with. At least that's what I was told when I was younger. It never really worked. Oh, you're talking about going to Tiger Stadium for the first time. No, man, just go have fun.
I would say
Be yourself.
If this is the first time that you've ever gone and it's a opponent that, it's not Florida, it's not A&M, so we understand that. We'll get to the A&M kickoff time a little bit later on in the show. Do all the things. Like the band coming down the hill, the team coming down the hill,
Yes,
like take in the
yes.
full experience of it, because even though the opponent's not an SEC one, those things will actually still look kind of the same.
Still tight. Still tight for sure.
Stay the whole game if possible.
I'm going to leave that up to the individual. I mean, I feel you, but
I'm saying
the older
that's-
I've gotten, I've let go of this. I've accepted that it's not on the people. The leaders and the infrastructure has to be the ones to figure it out. And maybe it's and I'm talking about traffic here and people leaving early. Maybe it's an impossible problem to solve. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can't blame people anymore for not wanting to, deal with
I
everything.
do love the people that call out people for leaving early and they're not at the game at all.
There's only
Like,
true.
oh, that's weird.
True.
You didn't step foot into the stadium,
Yeah,
but you're
that is
calling
true.
out
You
people
can
for
only
leaving
call
early.
people out if you're one of the ones that does stay the entire time.
The other day, this will be a surprise to no one. I had an old man rant about people leaving early. I did.
Okay, let's hear it.
Are you at the games?
Most of them. I wasn't there Saturday, but I go to most of them. And when I go, I stay the whole time.
We left.
Are you in the press box or are you?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I've never actually watched a game from the press box at LSU.
Oh, really?
We left with
It's really
6.5 minutes left in the game. We had all the kiddos there, all 5 of them, and Harlow's like, all right, bro, that's enough.
I guess my complaint was not that the stadium clears out, it's that the student section is always the first to clear out. That was my complaint.
It's not even a complaint. Like y'all asked, my advice for the guy going to his first game. Like there's only 7 of these the whole year.
Exactly.
Why would
Stay
you
the whole
not
time, man. Have
enjoy
fun.
it? Especially if LSU's good and there's a good product on the field, which there is this year.
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is, Jake's advice was do these things because they're singular and interesting. Enjoy them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I can understand feeling like I'm not getting a ton of value out of third and fourth quarter of Georgia State. And as a player on those games, I never cared. When people left, I felt like I did my job. My race was run. We kicked ass. I did my job.
Yeah, my
Clear
gloves
out.
were off.
Go enjoy yourself. Y'all go have fun. Y'all go start drinking. We'll be out there in a little bit.
What about SEC games? What if you're whooping up on Auburn or Florida or something?
Love it. Because it's the ultimate sign. And generally, if you're in a championship run, people will stay no matter what.
Yeah.
But I don't care. If I whip the opponent's ass and people leave, I'm like, all right then. Good.
Yeah, I'm remembering a game.
Take care of business.
I think you played in 2009 against Auburn. LSU destroyed them.
Yeah,
and
31-10.
Yes, towards the very end, Auburn was driving down the field and about to score a touchdown, and I believe it was 3rd and goal or 4th and goal. Miles called the timeout, and the starters went back out on the field, like Patrick Peterson and everybody, and the crowd went crazy. But then Auburn scored anyway. But it was still a cool moment.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. If you had to choose one outcome before the season started, which would you choose? JD5 win the Heisman to go 9-3, or LSU make the playoff and lose in the Natty?
LSU make the playoff and lose in the Natty. Look, I love individual awards. As a fan, it's a bonus for me.
But do you know how painful a Natty loss would be?
I get it. I 100% understand that. But as a fan, player awards is a bonus for me. I want them to win it, but I want that team to have a lot of success first.
The real interesting conversation here is what gives you more long-term kind of prestige or program juice, though. Because I think a Heisman actually does beat out a lost Natty.
Man, it's a combo because you just had one recently with Burrow, but at the same time, having 2 in less than 5 years
is incredible. Bro, it took you 50 years to get to one of the next.
Man.
I'd actually go Heisman 9-3 after talking this out.
I still say losing the championship. You still not just semifinal victory. I think ultimately it's just worth a little more.
I'm trying to think because I think T-Bob does make a great point. The fact that the Heisman Trophy from that position might actually do more for you in the future.
That's how I kind of feel. I feel like it kind of props your program up more.
That's a tough one. That's a very tough one.
Hashtag go to mailbag. Thoughts on Josh Williams blocking? Freaking awesome. Hashtag go to mailbag. Why are people ready to skip over Thanksgiving? Look, I mean, it's kind of like what we just had with the stadium thing. Different strokes, different folks. Some people, their kids want to watch Christmas. They just love it. They just want to get into it. I don't know.
It seems like a hipster thing. Like young people love to hate on like Friends and Jay-Z when maybe it doesn't, deserve to be hated on. I feel like this falls into that.
So what do you think? You saying young people are skipping over Thanksgiving?
Yes, like it's a cool thing to say, like, oh, Thanksgiving's actually overrated. It's just food.
Really?
Yeah.
So I look at it where it's like Thanksgiving is a bigger holiday than Halloween, but there's no theme. You know what I mean? Like you don't put up Thanksgiving decorations. There are no Thanksgiving movies to watch. You got Halloween movies.
Plane, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay, I get it. It's one movie.
And
but
for
it's
you, there's that new Thanksgiving horror movie.
Yeah. It's called Thanksgiving.
I don't think it looks very good.
There's
but
a Thanksgiving horror movie.
Maybe outside kind of fun a little bit.
Okay, yeah, but if it turns out to be a really good scary movie, which I doubt, people are just going to watch it during Halloween anyways.
Also
That's
true.
what I'm saying. Like, Halloween's got a scary theme. Christmas is the joyful, the Christmas tree, the snow, and all that. Thanksgiving kind of gets lost in the weeds because of the theming, honestly.
But it's got that freaking meal, Bo.
I get it. I love Thanksgiving.
I'm just thinking about it already. My mouth.
My wife just texted me and said, Christmas is a season, Thanksgiving is a day. It's pretty solid.
The only reason, and even my kids have, they may or may not have watched Grinch. And watched some Nutcracker. I'm not playing any Christmas music yet. The only reason why I just get worried that if I crank up the music already right now and the vibes right now, that it's going to take away from the actual December vibes. Forced scarcity is a thing for a reason, right? Like you gotta, it's supply and demand. You get a little less of it, you're gonna want a little more. I like making Christmas play a little hard to get, but I don't care if you don't. That's cool. That's up to you. Like everybody, do your thing. I'm not judging you if you want to go full Christmas already. I think I'm just waiting until the day after Thanksgiving.
We're not full Christmas, but we're Christmas.
Yeah, that's fair. Everybody do your thing, man. Yeah. Fawn says, how awesome was he, Jayden, run up on that guy that Josh decleated and talk crap with Josh? Yeah, apparently 15 must have been talking a lot because Williams and Jayden Daniels, you don't see Jayden do that.
Ever.
They made sure to let him know
You don't
what
see
just
Josh
happened.
Williams do that either.
No.
And immediately he got up and was in his face, and then Jayden went and got some as well. And then you have players quote tweeting, talking about how much 15 was talking before the game. You start talking, you better come correct. And I know that Florida has a habit of being front runners, and they have a bad habit of talking and not being able to back it up. We've seen that from when we played against them.
Yeah.
That's just who they are. They're going to talk, and then sometimes they just go away and disappear and get depleted.
Who throws a better axe on OTB? Well, we'll figure out this Thursday at Skull Axe, right?
I'm going to say Mario. Experience.
Yeah, experience matters in this regard for sure.
I could walk to that place. It's very close to my apartment. I'm excited.
Best Christmas vibe
Don't like how
vacation
quickly you can
place.
get away. Then.
Best Christmas vibe vacation place in the U.S. during the holidays. I don't really know. There's a there's a Germantown north of Atlanta. Like it's built like an old school Germantown because that's its roots. And when they go Christmas, it's Delana. Maybe it's in Dahlonega or somewhere
Pigeon
around there.
Forge.
So we go there every year for Christmas. I'm
too.
going this year. The Pigeon Forge Gatlinburg area is really awesome. Dolly Parton has her Dollywood or whatever, and the entire park.
Used to be Opryland, right?
Yeah, the entire park is decorated. Like they do it really well up there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, boys. So you know me. I'm leaving. I'm going to Disney the week after the FC Championship, and the whole reason we planned it is it's supposed to be a low population time. I'll report back if that's true or not. But I'm trying to catch them.
Mardi Gras breaks the peak to go. It feels like, but
no, not this last year, bro. That's when we went.
Well, California. Sorry.
Okay, that probably makes sense.
sense,
Well,
yeah.
but no, not even this last, because it was President's Day, and that's the worst time to go. They don't always time up.
22nd?
They don't always time up. They timed up this year.
Yeah.
That thing was full. Still had a great time, but Anyway, I'll report back on the Disney Christmas vibes and see how it is and whether it's not worth doing. Because to me, it's going to be incredible. Like, that's the whole reason I'm doing it is for the Christmas decorations. But
I hope
we'll
they have
see.
them. They had them for us in the 2004 Capital One Bowl.
Apparently, from what I've read in my Birnbaum's Guide, which I
what
get
that
every
is.
year, it's supposed to go up after Thanksgiving, so they should be up. I mean, they are gonna be up. We bought tickets to something called Mickey's Christmas Party, where it's like 7 to midnight. You're only allowed to go if you got the Christmas party tickets. I'm gonna get hammered at Epcot. Can't wait. Oh my God, every night. Final one. You're gonna try some Nashville hot dipped turkey for Thanksgiving. That actually sounds amazing. But I would love to. I would love to try that, but I don't have. I don't know how to make that.
What's the Thanksgiving plans?
It's a meal at the house.
Okay.
I love cooking Thanksgiving meal. Me and my wife too. Love making turkey. Like I said, I want to make a root beer ham this year.
I thought Chef kind of steered you away from that.
No. He just made me sure to watch out for making sure that I make it like tacky, right? So like he was saying, so it's not, because otherwise it'll just burn the hell out of the
acid,
pan,
right?
It sounds
The
like
root beer? Yeah.
No, so root beer ham, turkey. Last year I made my first. I don't know why it took me so long, but I finally made my first gravy with the turkey drippings, and it was, oh my God, it was unbelievable, dude. So potatoes, rolls, green beans, casserole,
beans, greens,
everything.
potatoes, So I was over at Alexander's Market, and I was talking steaks with the owner there, and we were just going over it and doing some stuff with them, and he was talking about some different things, and I felt so smart because I just used all of Chef's things that he's given us over the years. I'm like, I actually know what you're talking about right now. And I gave Chef credit. I'm like, because we have Chef that comes on every single Thursday, and he's kind of like, how do you gonna know what's going on here? I'm like, well, Chef Michael
Been doing
Johnson.
that for a long time now, dude.
I was going to say, that's one of the longest running segments on this
It was created
show.
during COVID. During COVID. I remember we were all panicking. What are we going to do with no sports? You know, Kevin Warren's out here canceling football. And I remember walking around the neighborhood brainstorming. And, that was the only one. I think that's the only segment probably that came out of that and I wrote down a ton of ideas.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that survived.
That's how Bobby Carpenter got his nickname, the General.
Yeah.
Because he went after the Big Ten about
led
not
the
playing
charge.
football and kind of led the charge. So that's why when he goes on McAfee, they call him the General.
All right, when we get back, more OTB college football playoffs. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
When is is a taco more than just a taco when it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canavera.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sean Salisbury's joining us to talk some quarterbacks. Shay Dixon on recruiting. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. College football playoff rankings, boys. Going on tonight. Who's going to be in the top 5? See, look at this, Jake. Just got this text. Planning the Rivals Down South show today. And before, I always do a crossover segment with the show Red Corner, Blue Corner. It's Jake Butt, Josh Shapiro there. Big Tim, we talk at C, right? And my producer texted me, was going to do a Heisman talk in the crossover because JP wants to make the case for Marvin Harrison. Why should Marvin Harrison Jr., like, if you want to give him the Blitnikoff,
sure,
whatever. Why should Marvin Harrison Jr. win? I'm okay with him going to New York because he is the best player on a very good team. Like we said, he's the only reason they won the Penn State game and everything else. But, like, he doesn't even have as good a numbers as Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze.
Or Troy Franklin.
He doesn't affect the game to the extent that Jayden Daniels. Why should Marvin Harrison beat out Jayden Daniels for the Heisman? If that happens, I'm going to be mad. I don't know. I mean, I was going to talk a big game. I'm not going to do anything. I'll just be mad.
Well, not just Jayden. Like, why should Marvin Harrison Jr. beat Bo Nix out for the Heisman?
Why should he win the Biletnikoff? I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a hell of a football player. I said it last 2 weeks ago.
He's going to have a really good NFL career.
Yeah, he's going to be top 10 pick, as he should be. But when you look at the numbers of it, I mean, he's 7th right now in yards. You know, if he had like 23 yards per catch and everybody else was in 16, 17 range, but everybody is right there with him. In fact, a lot have more than 18 yards per catch. Troy Franklin has more. Leggett at South Carolina has more. Rome Odunze has more. Malik Neighbors is right there with him. I guess I just don't understand it. Why can't he just be a really good player? He doesn't have Heisman stats. He doesn't have Heisman. I mean, he has the moment against Penn State, and I know, again, he's their best player, but that one just feels like a preseason narrative that's being pushed and pushed and pushed right now.
When Devontae Smith won the Heisman, he was second in the country at 142 yards a game. And because he ends up playing 13 games, he went for 1,800 and he caught 23 touchdowns. 23 touchdowns. How many yards per game is Marvin Harrison Jr. at?
I mean, about 100, because he's got 1,063, right? They've played 10 games.
Okay, this is actually kind of insane. I'm looking at these 2020 numbers. So Elijah Moore only got to play 8 games that year, which hurt his candidacy, I suppose. Elijah Moore averaged 10.8 catches and 150 yards a game.
Yeah.
Now, he had 8 touchdowns, so obviously, but what?
Yeah.
10.8 and 150 a game? Like, what's Malik averaging this year? Like 7 and like 130?
Yeah, right at it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's that's crazy to think about. That's crazy to think about. All right, Marvin Harrison Jr. should not be the Heisman winner. When we get back, let's talk playoff here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K2Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. Take advantage of Brandon Barton and his 25 years of experience. He has built this thing from the ground up, and the only way that you reach the levels that they have, be able to cover as many jobs as they can, and really, look, I mean, they do a lot of like commercial work in neighborhoods when homes are being built, but we talking to you like if you got a house, man, that you want to bring to the next level, like Jake's outdoor living area he got worked on, or a child's room, a man cave, a theater room, an office, whatever, functional, aesthetic. Go with the experts that have been at it for 25 years. The absolute best. You want window coverings that wow, you want K to Z.
And go with someone who's going to know your space and know exactly what you need, not just going to give you the same thing they give everyone else. They're going to come in, they're going to get a plan for your space, maybe multiple options for your space, and you're going to decide what's best for your space. KTZBlinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we're featuring 2023 Toyota Tundras with $2,000 bonus cash. $2,000 bonus cash offer on Toyota Tundras. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Sandegriff, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We're at Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo! Is my mic on? Oh, my headphones are turned on. What's up, y'all? God, I'm getting excited for Disney boys. Can't wait. All right, playoff. Hey, what happened? So it is officially set in stone. We are getting the heavyweight Alabama Georgia matchup in Atlanta. Once again, time is a flat circle, right? Russ tried to tell us. I mean, it all stays the same in the end. But we're going to get Kirby and Nick again. Maybe the most shocking statistic that I can't wrap my head around, and I think about it all the time, Jake, is the fact that Kirby Smart has more national championships than he does wins over Nick Saban. He has 2 national championships. He's only beaten Nick Saban 1 time. So let's see if he can make it 2. What about this? We've said all year, if Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC, oh, well, Georgia doesn't make it. Their schedule's crap. But if they beat Tennessee, they will have rattled off 3 ranked victories in a row with a Mizzou win that looks really nice. An Ole Miss win that will probably finish 10-2 as well. And a Tennessee win that's not as nice, but still, whatever, going to be a low-ranked win. Let's say Georgia loses a close one to Alabama. Does that little resume push at the end reinsert them above some of these other one-loss teams?
I guess it would depend on how it looks. Obviously, it would depend on what happens around them. Florida State, if they're undefeated, you're probably going to have an undefeated Big Ten champ.
Florida State's in if they're undefeated, 100%.
Oh, yeah, for
no
sure. I'm
what.
saying if you have them as an undefeated, you have the Big Ten champ as an undefeated. So that's 2 spots right there. Okay, so let's say that Washington stays undefeated. That would be 3 spots. And then you'd come down to, if they lost to Alabama, you'd choose between Alabama, Georgia, and Texas.
Well, Alabama would go. Alabama would go then. Alabama would go. 100%.
Right?
Yeah. I guess the thing is,
and even
though,
if I'm Texas, by the way, I'm pissed. If I win the Big 12, we had a head-to-head in your place, and I beat you by 10.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But it does feel like that is the easy answer. Like, oh, yeah, Bama, get in. Even though we played each other, I came to your place and beat you and left no doubt.
Yeah, you handed Alabama the best loss, though.
Exactly.
Like Texas lost to a bad Oklahoma team. I don't know what to tell you, dude. What do you mean? Texas almost lost to freaking Houston, and got pushed to OT by Kansas State after amassing a huge lead. No, look, Texas is good. I would love nothing more for Texas finally to have this amazing season and just get gatekeeped out. It would make me so incredibly happy. That was the takeaway from the first playoff, though. Texas not in control of their own destiny. Georgia's going to be number one tonight, right, boys? Like that finally happens, huh?
Yeah, that was impressive.
I would think so.
What they did to Ole Miss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you beat Missouri and Ole Miss back-to-back weeks, like both by double digits. That's number one.
We haven't talked about it on this show, but to me, while that's an awesome win for Michigan, when you're talking about all like top 5 teams, you're going to have to critique, and it sounds like you're being negative. It's an awesome win for Michigan, top 10 on the road. But I emerge out of that game, and I feel like, okay, Michigan is maybe a bit closer to Ohio State than I thought. Like, there's not a massive, massive gap there. And I wanted to see more out of Michigan's skill positions. Like, Roman Wilson was nowhere to be found that entire game. And part of that's game flow. They didn't need to, but, yeah, I feel like Georgia needs to be number one.
This week, I think so.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Step inside an Infiniti QX50, and you'll find a suite of driver-focused features tailored to your tastes. But most of all, you'll find luxury that lets you feel infinitely you. Visit your local Infiniti retailer today.
Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, November 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 64. Coming up on OTBOT, we talk to Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football coming up next. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hour number 3 kicking off. It's Tuesday, which means we got our guy Nick Underhill from NewOrleans.football. Nick_Underhill. Nick, I know you mentioned the stat, but you should have written an article about running Taysom Hill 8 times, okay? I'm going to need you to hammer that this week so they don't forget. The same way that you got them to start motioning, same way that you got them to start running some play action. What else was it? There's one other thing that Nick did this year. I can't remember. I'm blanking off the top of my head. But yeah, next we got to make sure they don't forget about Taysom again next game, okay? So please take care of that. Thank you.
Do you guys want to talk about something other than the Saints? Like, is there anything else we can talk about?
No. Unfortunately, the
Pelicans?
No.
Lufus?
I mean, look, Jayden Daniels is tight, you know?
No,
How about
great.
this? How about this? So, I saw your tweet yesterday about the Saints being committed to Derek Carr, and it actually kicked off what was my opening segment today, and we'll get into that as well. But I just don't understand that. Like, you're not that long-term committed where you should ignore a first-round quarterback if you like the cat, right? And I know I have Jayden Daniels bias creeping in, but the Lamar comp feels really apt. And even yesterday in his press conference, Brian Kelly went out of his way to talk about, because the one knock on him now is like, well, he's a little skinny. And Brian Kelly even yesterday was really going out of his way to explain he's actually way stronger than people realize, right? And that's what allows him to take these hits and blah, 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 blah. So whatever. The point is, like, why shouldn't the Saints be willing to take? It's not like Derek Carr's that good. I don't care. You're not long-term financially committed to him. He could learn from Derek Carr or maybe beat him out. Like, why shouldn't you take a first-round quarterback?
I think I was taking it a little bit the wrong way, and I probably worded it poorly. I mean, you know, I think they are committed to Derek Carr. I mean, I think that is a factual statement. They view him as being like, so we just met with Mickey Loomis last week, and we were talking to him, a bunch of stuff on the record, off the record, whatever. And one of the things that came up that was on the record was just kind of like the young core of the team and how they feel it looks beyond this season. And, you know, there's a lot of older guys, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, Tyrann Mathieu, Alvin Kamara, you know, you go on and on, like Ryan Ramczyk. A lot of the guys that are kind of part of the group of the players are older and they're aging out. So it's kind of like, how do you view the young core of the team? And, you know, he's going through and he's naming everybody. And he's like, and Derek Carr is 31, which is like 25 at another position. So that just kind of tells me how they're kind of looking at him. They're looking at him like he's going to be a building block of the future. So to draft a quarterback in the first round, which is, you know, based on conversations I'm talking to scouts all the time. What do you think of this guy? What do you think of that guy? Who's looking good? Who should we have an eye on? Da, 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 da. Like, Jayden Daniels is a guy that's like, everybody I know in the media is like, he's a third rounder, he's whatever. And like, scouts are saying first round, second round.
Yeah.
If you want him, like, you're going to have to draft him early. You got to be actually committed to him. You got to be willing to move on, all that stuff. So I don't think that they would close their eyes to a quarterback. I just think they would have to really, really like the quarterback to take him. So, you know, something to break that commitment kind of. But look, I mean, they were willing to draft Patrick Mahomes with Drew Brees still in his prime, coming off a really good season. So I don't think that they wouldn't take a quarterback. I just think it would have to be the quarterback they think is like, all right, this is actually the guy. Like, you aren't taking a flyer there, so they would have to really, really love Jayden Daniels. And I think it would be hard not to love Jayden Daniels. So, like, if he's there in a range, I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. But I mean, I do think that there is a car component here where within the building, I think they like him maybe more than a lot of people outside of the building.
Well, and so and on Dan, and it's not just Dan. I mean, this is gonna be a good quarterback class, right? Like, there's gonna be a lot of talent there. Meaning, maybe there's a run. Maybe guys like we'll wait and see. So this idea though of thinking that Derek Carr is that guy, I understood it in theory, but we're getting a pretty large sample size of practice here. And this is my overall fear that I talked about this morning, because you're seeing two camps develop within the Hootats, right? One camp is like, enjoy the ride, wins are great, do what you can, hell yeah. And the other camp's like, well, yes, but if they do win, and then it'll be like 9-8 and they win the division, it's going to be negative reinforcement, and they're going to commit to all these bad things that are clearly bad. And so it's like, do you have faith? Because that makes what you just said makes me not feel great about it. Because, like, that doesn't feel like an objective evaluation of what we've seen out of Derek Carr. It feels like trying to make sure that your original idea that you had for the team buildup was going to be correct. Do you have faith that even if they do go like 9-8 and win the division, that they can enjoy that as a front office and ownership, but still then maybe make a tough decision like Pete Carmichael's not the OC, or we need to get better at quarterback?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going to be. Man, well, I said this last year. I'm going to be shocked if there isn't changes to the coaching staff, though. Like, not necessarily the head coach, but like some changes to the coaching staff. If they go 9-8, I don't think you can run back this offense again next year unless we see something drastically different over the last 7 games of the season. Drastically, like not marginally better. Like I'm talking like full scale explosive type offense, and we aren't going to see it. Like let's we've spent a lot of time being like, well, there's another gear here. There's another gear here. They can find it. They can find it. They aren't finding another gear. Like this is what it is. This is the offense. Like. There might be a couple peaks. There might be a week where you're like, man, maybe they figured something out. And then the next week, they're going to remind you who they are. Like, this is who they are.
Well,
they aren't going to be any better than this.
We've seen that.
No doubt about it. It's insane to me that they had Derek Carr, who, theoretically should be better than Andy Dalton. You had Mike Thomas to this team, who's definitely a lot better than a lot of the wide receivers they had last year. And they're averaging 2 more points per game. Like, they are not a good team on offense right now. So you got to do something different if you're going to run it back and everything. But I do think that they would make changes if they go 9-8 and win the division. I think that there is a frustration with the offense. I think they're realistic about the offense. Now, I do know that they think some of the stuff that, we blame Derek Carr for is young wide receivers not knowing the playbook and doing things that are not on the same page or, a little bit off script, screwing up the rhythm, being in the wrong places. So it looks like it's Derek mistakes, but it's, some wide receiver mistakes. My argument to that would be is like, put in the time, pull these guys aside. You've played 10 games. If you aren't on the same page, at some points the onus is on you too, to make sure that they're on the same page and you're figuring it out. So, look, I think they have to do stuff to stop. I think you have to be realistic. Like there's this idea that they're super patient and everything. And I think they are. Like, I do think they are extremely patient as an organization.
Yeah.
They will sit through things to go to the other side. They will stubbornly wait for things to correct. And a lot of times they've been right over time. But I think there is some realism about where they exist, what's not right and what needs to change. And I would be super shocked if we don't see those changes. But, I know they ran it back with Pete this year. I can say with confidence that they tried to get a different offensive coordinator last offseason, and it didn't work. And
did they go after Bieniemy? Did they go after Bieniemy? I'm sorry to interrupt, but Jake pointed out yesterday, Sam Howell's leading the league in passing right now, which is really stupid.
Yeah, I didn't hear that one. Okay. Look, there might be other people. I know the very first year, like Liam Cohen was a guy that they wanted very badly. When DA first got the job, that didn't work out, and then Carmichael gets the job. I know there's this idea of well, Pete didn't want the job. Well, I think everybody was evaluating their options at that time. I don't think it was just one guy and they're waiting. I think everybody was evaluating their options. And then it was okay, here's the wish list. That didn't work. He went to LA. Okay. And then everybody comes and that's how it goes. But they interviewed Jay Gruden. There were a handful of guys they interviewed that year and it kind of went back to Pete when everything struck out. So I don't think that there is this willingness that is perceived of just being super mediocre and not doing anything about it. I think that they've tried to make moves and maybe those moves haven't worked. And then it gets to the point like, okay, do we do this or we just make a move to make a move? And they've kind of stuck with what they've known over time. But I do think for sure that everything's going to be on the table at the end of the season, because it would be absolutely insane to bring it back and run it the same exact way and just think, oh, it's going to be better, because it's not getting better. We don't see anything getting better. 2 years, same exact thing. So for sure.
It's not getting better, and I agree with you. Like, we have to see things change, but it feels like, and we know this, like windows in the NFL, they don't stay open very long, and if you do have a window that is open, like, you want to try to obviously maximize what you can get out of that open window, and the Saints have done that. They've done it for a very long time. They've been competitive, but it feels like the window's about to close and change needs to happen, and then they run over there and they put like a little wooden stick in the window so it doesn't, and it's like, it's not real stable. That thing looks like it's about to close, but let's put this wooden stick right here so we can leave it open just a little bit. We can have all the things and all these pieces that have been here for a long time. And if it doesn't work out this year, it just feels like somebody needs to go over there and slam the window shut and start over.
I might be the biggest idiot in the room, because like I still think they have better players than what they're showing, like record-wise. I think the roster is better than what they're showing record-wise. And I might be a moron for thinking that, and I might be naive, but like, I just refuse to believe that an offense with a playmaker like Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, who is right now statistically the best wide receiver in that draft class with a lot of really good players. I think Mike is still a star. I think Alvin still has a lot to give. They finally blocked better in this game. He was averaging 4.5 yards per carry, and then defense couldn't do anything. You couldn't throw the ball. You get behind, and that has to go away.
Yeah,
I think
but then you're down
like a real
one
playmaker.
score with 11 minutes left, and you just refuse to run the ball. It's crazy.
So insane. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Like, you have Taysom and Alvin, like, set it up, get some play action going. Jameis is like one of the best play action quarterbacks in the NFL over the last like 5 years. Don't want to do it. Like, I don't understand what they're doing sometimes. It's like, it just doesn't make sense sometimes when you're watching this team. And it's so frustrating. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, if you flip the coaching staffs last week, the Saints win this game. You flip the offensive coaching staffs, the Saints win this game. Like, they were doing things for Josh Dobbs. Like, you're watching this game and they're scheming stuff up and there's easy throws and he's not having to sit back and read the defense every play. Like, there's predetermined stuff that's happening that makes life easier for him. Saints don't do that stuff. It's not 2009 anymore. Like, do some of this stuff that makes things easier for the quarterback, and life will be easy. Like, you can play. This dude's been there for 2 weeks in Minnesota and they're winning games. He doesn't even know the playbook because like they're doing things that make life easier for him.
Without Justin Jefferson, winning games without, like, again, like you mentioned flipping the coach staffs, and you're right about the talent. I mean, what do we all feel like Alvin Kamara or this offense would be doing if they had like a Mike McDaniel there or Kyle? And I know that McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan, like that's the furthest example of this, but like, no, there are weapons there. Like, yeah, okay, trade Alvin Kamara, like Christian McCaffrey, who everybody thought was done, got traded, and watch what happens. If you traded him to like a Miami or Sanford, he would take off. He still has some, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of juice still left there. And yeah, he's getting older. And I don't think, I think 2020 was peak Alvin. He's not 2020 Alvin anymore, but
yeah,
he's still a very good football player. Like, if you get him in better positions to succeed, yeah, absolutely. Like, there was a third down, like like Jameis comes in. There's a series there, like down towards their end zone, and first down, nothing, second down, nothing, third down, they need like 6 yards, and they have one route like touching the first down marker, 3 of them behind. They try to get the ball to Alvin, and it's like, kind of running to the outside and going up the sideline. A play that failed another time on a third down, and it's like they just keep going to this, and it's just like, man, get some stuff going beyond the sticks. Like, just use some common sense. And there's just so many times you're watching them. The example you just gave, like the 11 minutes, start running the ball again. Like, it's a manageable game. It doesn't have to be like Jameis digging you out of this with 45-yard throws from 15 yards from the end zone. Like, that doesn't have to be every play. It doesn't have to be like I don't understand it. So yeah, I mean, I really do think that they're going to evaluate that hard this offseason. I do think that you're maybe in a little bit better position to recruit an offensive coordinator this year than last year. Like, if you're looking at the situation last year, head coach is kind of like the seat's looking a little bit hot. If you're looking from a distance, I don't think it ever actually was. They don't have a quarterback. Nobody knows what's going on with Mike Thomas. Like, you kind of see what Olave is now. Rashid's got a rising star. Mike Thomas is healthy. I mean, he's got a knee thing right now, but I don't think it's a huge deal. Derek Carr's at least something. Like you at least have a starting quarterback. Like I think they can go out and probably recruit a better OC this year. But last year you looked at the situation and like, why would anybody have wanted that job? There's no quarterback, no weapon. Like it was a bad job. And I think it's a little bit better right now than it was a year ago.
And the thing like that people have to realize is it's not only that they didn't run the ball like in the Vikings game, it's when they continued to pass like they were down 3 scores. Your offensive line's already struggling, and that makes it even harder. When the other team has the leading sack getter in the NFL and he knows you're going to pass it every single time, like it's amazing that Jameis had really any success in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and again, it's just like do things that make life easier for your team, and they just don't. They don't. And it's just like, I'm not someone that likes to sit around and question coaching, but like some of this stuff is just like, it's so obvious to see. Like Danielle Hunter coming and knowing that he could pin his ears back every single time is the exact opposite of what you want to happen in this game. You go into this game, it's just like, okay, we can run the ball now and take this off. Like we can take this pressure off. And no, like we're just going to sling it every single time. Jameis is going to take these like absurdly deep drops and he's going to try to throw the ball 60 yards down the field 3 times. And you hit. If you don't, you don't. Like, I don't understand why they were playing the game like that in that situation. Like you could have calmed it way down. And instead it's just like, we're going to lean into this like wildness of the offense and just keep going with it. I will say this, like that was the most fun watching Jameis play. It's the most fun I've had watching the Saints play the whole entire year. Like I'm not saying he should be the starter, but like it was the most fun that I had watching. Like it was unbelievable. He threw a 15-yard touchdown pass to A.T. Perry that traveled 45.8 yards through the air. Like you're not seeing that anywhere else.
I did not realize that. Oh my God, dude.
Yes.
That's
like
insane.
if you're gonna play games like this, like just up the entertainment factor at least, because like they're mediocre and boring right now. And that was like, I was like literally standing up watching the game. It was just like, oh man, like I would have taken 3 more quarters of that. It was incredible to watch.
Oh man, I've already know we've gone long. We haven't even touched on the defense. You mentioned Danielle Hunter and kind of the mind-boggling lack of game planning. Jake's been pointing this out. Like, no Jets, like you can't lose to their next best guy. Like the guy, like you can't let TJ Hawkinson go off when you know that's the only guy they got that they're going to try to get to go off. Like, and that's not even getting into the inexplicable slow starts. And I've read all y'all's work on New Orleans on football. And so like, I've read all the quotes and it's just everybody saying, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know how we didn't stop TJ Hawkinson. I don't know why we come out so I don't know. Like that's kind of devastating to hear.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to be more intense at the start of games. I don't know why we can't start fast. I don't know why we have to get down 2 scores to wake up on defense. Like, I don't know. Like, that seems like someone's got to get everybody motivated and focused early in the game. It's been going on for like 5 weeks now. Someone needs to figure it out. Like, what do you need to do to make everyone feel like they're down 2 scores at the start of the game? Because at the beginning of the season, you were doing it. So what shifted? Like, why is the mentality completely different now? And yeah, it is absolutely insane. TJ Hawkinson's all you have to do. Like, just take him out of the game and you're good to go. Exactly. Jordan Addison's going to be taken care of because you have 2 really good cornerbacks. So just cover him. Now you got to just worry about this guy over the middle. And like a week ago, Cole Kmet just kind of ate up your tight end, your tight end coverage. So fix what was broken and you're going to be good in this game. And they didn't. And, the other thing that's just absolutely mind-boggling, and it's the NFL in 2023. Like quarterbacks can move out of the pocket and run now. Like it isn't 1996. Like Peyton Manning isn't dropping back every time to throw. It's not the 1998. Like guys move now, and all you have to do as a quarterback against the Saints is like move a little bit, and everything's shattering. The whole entire thing is shattering. Like if you can run like less than a 5.3 40, like you can run on this team for 50 yards. It is crazy. I don't understand it. And it's been going on for years. Like, Josh Dobbs can move, like find a way to stop. I don't understand it. I don't know why it's hard, because I watch other teams and this isn't happening to every other team. Like it's happening to one team every single week and they're playing bad quarterbacks. Like it's unbelievable. Like everything is set up for them to be like running away with everything right now. Like everybody's best players hurt every week. Everybody's quarterback is hurt. But like, if you can just move a little bit, like the Saints cannot play defense, and it makes no sense whatsoever.
Nick Underhill, covers Saints New Orleans.football is a site. I am a proud NOF subscriber.
He
Have been
describes,
for
you
years.
subscribe.
Yeah. I can describe site. It's got a great layout. Video content, podcast, written work as well. Brooke, Mike, Nick, the entire production team, they do a great job. It's well worth your sub. Nick, thank you so much, man. You have an excellent day. Enjoy the bye week, bro.
Oh, yeah, thank God. No game this weekend. Nothing bad can happen. Yeah.
All right, Nick, have a good one, man.
Yeah, take it easy.
And I go on there and I talk about LSU every Thursday, so that's a lot of fun as well. That all sounds like Pete Carmichael's got to be gone at the end of the year, like 1,010%. The only thing is there's, I'm not sure it's going to be DA as well. Even though a division win probably would protect you from that, right? Like I doubt ownership would go that far, even if that's wrong.
Yeah.
Even if that's wrong.
Right.
But Pete's got to go.
Very easy to use Pete as the scapegoat in that scenario.
Well, you say scapegoat, but like Jake's been giving you his NFL analysis on it for 2 years now. Nick knows football inside and out, right? Like I know that. Like I would trust Nick's NFL analysis way over mine. And what they're saying, they're not grasping at straws to go after him. These are very basic things. Why aren't you more advanced conceptually like all of your peers?
Yeah, scapegoat's not a good term, but reasons to keep Dennis, not him.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You're saying kind of a fall guy for the head coach.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Who ultimately made the final call to hire Carmichael, I would think.
Yeah, well, and it sounds like they struck out on a bunch of other guys, like Nick was saying there. But yes, I agree with you. But I guess what I'm saying is this: it would be partially that, like let's satiate the people's bloodlust, but also like just objectively, it probably needs to happen. How about you just get rid of everybody? Bring in Eric Bieniemy and draft Jayden Daniels. Ashley Megan said in the chat earlier. Let's go. Let's go full fanboy.
Sound that bad.
That's what I'm saying. Not when you're this frustrated, right? But whatever. Next week they'll probably win. We'll be like, hey, they're good again. Falcons suck. Let's go, dude. We'll see. More OTB coming up next.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards. which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
This Sunday, as we bring you 3 different NFL games, we start with the noon kickoff, the Chargers at Packers. Immediately following that, it's Buccaneers at 49ers, and then the night game, the Vikings and Broncos. Catch all 3 of those games right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Got time, but I don't mind. Just wanna rock you, girl. I'll have whatever you have. Come on, let's give it a whirl. See, I've been watching you. I like the way you move, so go ahead, girl, just do that ass shaking thing you do. So you grab your girls and you grab a couple more, and you all can meet me in the middle of a floor. So the air is thick, it's smelling right. So you pass to the left and you sail to the right. Don't be so quick to walk away.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Man, poor JT. A quote from the Britney book was not ideal. Welcome back to Off the Bench. Ask the Bench, does Desmond Ritter start based on Josh Dobbs' performance on Sunday? That is kind of funny, given that, as Nick said, if you just run around a little bit, the Saints defense loses their mind.
I've been saying that for weeks. We saw Bajan do that. We saw Gardner Minshew do that. Get out the pocket and make plays.
Yeah, he did
like
that.
it's not good, man.
I would say Heineke still starts, though.
How did he do last game? I know they lost.
Heineke, I'm pretty sure he led him in rushing. Like, that's the thing. Like, people don't consider Taylor Heineke a runner. He can take off and run.
Okay.
He had like 60 yards rushing last week.
Okay. Not to brag.
And he might actually be a better runner improv-wise than a Desmond Ritter.
You saw that with the Commanders. He had that rushing touchdown against the Bucs in the playoffs.
People are saying the Madden curse is back. Do y'all agree?
I couldn't even tell you who's on the Madden cover this year.
It was Josh Allen.
Your boy.
Oh, wow.
Josh Allen.
No,
That's
because I
why
said
people
that
are
before
saying
he
it.
got on the cover.
Yeah, okay, look. I know that you are like a Josh Allen truther or whatever, but like Buffalo won a ton of games. He was very good, even if he's not as good as you thought. Like, he was still easily a top 10 quarterback, even if you're saying he's not top 5. There's no doubt that this year is significantly worse than the other years. So does that make the Madden curse real?
No, it doesn't. I think there was signs that you could see that there was things that he needed to shore up, and he didn't shore those things up. And in fact, they've gone the complete opposite way. And he's got weapons. Like, it always used to be that, well, he needs a running back. I think Cook's a really good running back, right? And you've got receivers. You drafted a tight end in the first round. Again, this isn't a Josh Allen is a bad quarterback, but when we would have these lists, it's like firmly top 3. I'm like, there's things that he needs to shore up to be in the top 5, and he hasn't done those things. And they've actually, like I said, they've gone the other way. I have nothing against Josh Allen. There was things that I saw on tape, just seeing the great quarterbacks and what you have to do that he wasn't doing, and he hasn't done them this year.
The year where they went like 13-3 and like they like never trailed in the second half or some crazy stuff like that.
That was 2020. He'll push back on it, but numbers-wise, you could argue he should have won MVP.
No,
over
I know.
Aaron
That's what
Rodgers.
I'm saying. That was his peak, and I feel like
Don't
he
push
traded.
back on it. I don't have anything against the guy.
I feel like
I'm just telling you what it is.
He traded off of that for a couple years, and so maybe that's why he stayed in that conversation, even though he ended up.
So he went
falling off a bit
after his
more.
rookie year where he started like 10 games. His full years, he goes 37-10. Well, he went 20-9, touchdown, interception. That was his
Okay.
first full year as a starter.
Okay.
37-10 with 8 rushing touchdowns. That was 70% completion. That was the year we were just talking about,
Okay,
the 13-3
that's
season.
insane. So that's
But
45
then
total touchdowns.
He
70
drops a
completion.
little bit. He goes 36 touchdowns, 15 picks, but he's still at like 65% completion percentage. 63 last year, 35-14. He's at 19-11 this year.
Wow.
So while he's bad, like it's a significant drop off this year.
Yeah. Damn.
Because he's right now, he's not on pace to get that 35, 36 touchdowns where he's been. And then, yeah, he's turned the ball over a lot, but it was still only 14 interceptions last year. He's at 11 right now.
They lead the NFL in turnovers in the first series of the game, too, in the last, 5 years since he's been the starter.
And they, they got like a 30-something% chance of making the playoffs, I heard now, too.
Yeah, because you have the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, the Jags, the Texans, Kansas City. Actually, the Raiders are tied with them now.
Josh McDaniels. God, you're so bad. Are the Broncos back?
Yeah, I was going to say
4-5.
That's the other side of this. They have 3 straight wins against the Packers, Chiefs, and Bills. Definitely a little bit of juice.
Damn.
After that, 0-3, terrible start, and the loss to the Dolphins where they gave up 70 points.
Are you telling me that Sean Payton's guys going to end up being good in Denver, and then we're going to have to deal with having Dennis Allen?
I mean, they had a lot of seasons like this in New Orleans where they started terrible, got some wins over some teams that they maybe weren't expected to beat, and then fizzled out towards the end.
That's true. 7-10 still incoming for Denver.
Yeah, we'll see.
No doubt.
This describes Charger football, by the way, to a T. Of the teams that are 4-5 in the AFC, the Jets minus 28 in point difference. All right, you go to the other 4 and 5 teams. Denver Broncos, they're 4 and 5 team, minus 52 in points difference. The Chargers 4 and 5 plus 24.
Look,
golly,
somebody's gonna tell you
plus 24.
Somebody's
and
gonna
they're 4
tell
and
you
5.
on this earth, people are gonna tell you and show you who they are. It's up to you whether or not you believe them.
Jake, were you saying yesterday that all of the Chargers' losses are by 3 points?
All but one.
All but one.
Yeah, they're 0-4 in those situations. And 4 of the 5 losses are by 3. I think Cowboys might have gotten them by a touchdown. Maybe.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's true. Will Lutz hitting another game-winning field goal last night as well.
Well, missing one and then hitting one. Yeah, because the Bills had 12 guys in the field.
Fair.
But still. The Steelers, who are 6-3, minus 26 in points difference.
Dude, Mike Tomlin just wins.
Just
Mike
wins,
Tomlin
baby.
just wins
Just knows
football
how to
games.
win, dude.
Doesn't matter who his quarterback is.
Awful
Doesn't matter how
offense.
bad the offense is. He just wins games.
Getting outgained every
Yep.
single game, not even hitting what was the stat about it hitting 300 yards, or maybe it was 350. There's some pretty baseline metric that the Steelers just don't hit offensively, and it should be a death sentence, but they just keep winning.
They've gotten outgained every game this year, all 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're 6-3, and they've been outgained in every single one of them.
I don't understand how that
He
works.
just wins games.
I don't think I'd want to be in the AFC North right
All
now.
it does is win games.
No,
That
every
is
team
the-
has a winning record.
That is the inverse of the NFC South, right? That's kind of funny. It's a perfect inverse, right? Because it's the North or the South, AFC, NFC. They love that. Yeah. There you go.
Every team has a winning record in the North, and no team has a winning record in the South.
Yeah.
The Saints are
Right,
at the top
baby.
at 5-5.
That's what I'm saying. Perfect symmetry there. If only the Saints were 4 and 6, it'd actually be perfect symmetry. Or 4 and 5.
Josh Allen leads the NFL in interceptions since 2018.
Reminds me a little bit of golf, to where he played really, really well towards the beginning of his career, maybe peaked a little bit, and now he's fallen
Golf's
off.
made a comeback.
Yeah.
Now, his
Yeah,
peak was
Goff's
higher
playing
than
well.
Goff's, I think, at the beginning of his career.
Yeah, for sure.
But now Jared Goff is in a stable situation, playing really well.
Yes.
The thing, me and Mario were talking about this
Sean
the other day.
McVay's looking kind of. I guess he can't look dumb because he won a Super Bowl with Matt Stafford, but it doesn't look great that he ran Jared Goff off in the manner that he did, and Jared Goff's actually pretty good.
Well, me and Mario were talking about that the other day. It's like so many people say Cousins is underrated, and I agree with you. I think he is a little bit, but it's like I feel like more people should say that about Jared Goff.
Yeah.
The knock on him is that the first year they replaced him, they win the Super Bowl, but they added a lot more weapons on defense. Cooper Kupp was hurt for almost 2 full years. Jared Goff's last 2 seasons there. Goff took them to a Super Bowl. They didn't have a Cam Akers or a Sony Michel to rely on. He didn't have Tyler Higbee fully healthy at tight end. So it's like he gets a bad rap where it's like, oh, you replace your Jared Goff with somebody else, you're winning the Super Bowl. But it wasn't entirely Goff's fault. He had a really bad rookie year. That whole team was bad, but like he was actually pretty solid in LA for the most part as well.
Well, also, I'm sure that Sean McVay helped Jared Goff a ton. But I also think in a weird way, he probably held back his development some way because he didn't trust him. And so McVay was basically like playing quarterback for him a lot of times, very famously, right? And that's what McVay talked about, like wanting to get away from. But now Jared Goff has clearly proven that he doesn't need you to do that. That, like, you know, he's reached the point where, no, he is his own QB. So it was probably better for both parties, honestly, to split up, for sure. For sure.
Hey, Mark Brunell's doing a heck of a job, too, quarterback coach there.
Yeah.
You start watching Hard Knocks from a year ago and what he was doing, and Ben Johnson's the OC, but I'm sure Mark Brunell, with all the experience that he has, pretty good quarterback coach to lean on.
What would be a better Madden cover? Dan Campbell and just like 2 giant 80-ounce Starbucks, or Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Campbell.
Yeah. I'm always going to go Dan Campbell, no matter what the other thing that you're going to say.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is the correct answer, guys.
Dan Campbell is going to have
You
serious...
want to sell copies, put T Swift.
Okay, but the people that are buying Madden don't care if Taylor Swift's on the cover is the thing.
Can we not do
Are you going to
Taylor
sell
Swift
more copies because of that? No.
debate?
Yes, obviously.
You're not.
Absolutely will. 1,000%. Now, the licensing may be too much, may offset the cost, but you're tripping if you think you wouldn't sell more copies.
I don't think you would. That's not your target audience.
Bro, Taylor Swift exceeds target audience.
I'm going to move on before this conversation goes any deeper. Gulf South, speaking of the Lions, I've heard many people say Dan Campbell's a front runner for the A&M job. Wouldn't that be going backwards in his career? Billy Lucci was on with me on Off Campus yesterday, his college roommate, and said, no. Just straight out like, no. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, Billy, who was on everybody's shows yesterday, he was on ours as well, and he also said no to Lane Kiffin. So there's no juice there because Ross Bjork and him, you know, obviously don't get along, and just the A&M powers that be just don't want Lane.
Billy went on Dusty and Danny in the morning. He went on with us, went on with y'all, went on with Matt, went on with Jordy, went on with God, it was one more. It was like 6-7 shows of like shows that I know the people that he was on.
Not to like who knows how many other shows that
Houston
he
and
did.
all Dallas and all these kind of shows in Texas.
Oh, wait, we got a break. When we get back, more OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Right of show, going to pick up that new Murdered Out Mini, double Murdered Out Minis. You kidding me? So excited. Can't wait to see it. I actually haven't even seen it. Only my wife got to see it. I'm pumped, dude. That could be you. But maybe the Tundra. Tacoma. Sequoia, if you want like a big SUV, a really nice SUV. Camry, whatever. RAV4, Highlander. It's all there for you. Best selection, whether it's new or a Toyota certified used vehicle. The people at All Star, what makes a difference. I mentioned here in Pico, you got Miss Lisa Sessions in the rental department, service department. Look, all of it. They're the absolute best. Best prices, best deals. Toyota-thon going on right now. It's the holiday season. Go take advantage today. All Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Now is a great time to take full advantage of the rental department we tell you about all the time because everything is available. All the things T-Bob said in buying new, they're available to rent as well, per day rental prices, right? So if you have that trip coming up for the holidays, go ahead and reserve it today. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lock in the low rate of 3.99% on a Toyota Highlander. That's right, 3.99%. Lock in your low rate while you still can. At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We'll chat with Glenn West about the Tigers and Sharif Ishak about the Saints and Pels. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
I saw one of my friends asked me, we were having a conversation, what, if you could go into a fictional place, what fictional place would you go to? Mario, I'm guessing you would go to Wonka's Chocolate Factory?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I would actually behave and not die and get a new Oompa Loompa song.
I don't think you would behave.
You would not behave.
I really thought you were going to say Krusty Krab for the Krabby
You don't
Patties.
think that you would have failed one of Wonka's temptations?
Yeah, probably would.
An edible-based temptation?
You'd have to make a cheeseburger base, though.
That's what I'm saying, but Wonka knows. He probably would have something, be like, this gum tastes like cheeseburgers, but don't eat it. It's not ready yet.
And honestly surprised someone.
Next thing you know, instead of turning into a giant violet ball, Mario just becomes a anthropomorphic cheeseburger.
Hell yeah.
He becomes Mayor McCheese from the Burger King commercials.
Make it happen. Surprised something like this doesn't exist, IRL.
I would not go to Wonka's Chocolate Factory. I would go to the Pawtucket Brewery Factory. Pure inebriation.
Go look at the Family Guy edit T-Bot made yesterday.
Wait, what?
Go look at the Family Guy edit the T-Bot made yesterday.
Oh, that T-Bot
Yeah.
made. Oh, okay, I will. What about you boys? Where you going?
I'm going to go to Fansville from the Dr. Pepper commercials. I love college football. Dr. Pepper's my all-time favorite drink. I'm going to Fansville, man.
Just unlimited Dr. Pepper.
Absolutely.
Pelicans.
That's where I'm going.
You know, Fansville did kind of curse Caleb Williams. Like, they had that whole commercial about, like, you know, I don't believe in curses. And they're like, because they're like, you're on the cover of this game. You're in Fansville, blah, blah. And Caleb Williams like, I don't believe in curses. It's all good. He's like, you're walking under a ladder. Well, now you're 7-4. So a little too meta there, Fansville.
I'm not blaming Fansville. Fansville's a fun place, T-Bob.
Fansville blamed Fansville is what I'm saying.
No, they did.
They set it up.
That's where I would go.
So when you asked this question, I don't know why, but immediately the place that popped into my head was Lou's Cafe from Back to the Future there in Hill Valley.
Hell yeah, dude.
That, like, immediately, like, y'all know me, I love old school music, like 1950s diner. Whenever this question gets asked is always probably where I end up, and immediately Lou's Cafe from Back to the Future popped into my head.
The first one that popped into my head, you know, I love Lord of the Rings, right? So like Green Dragon, the pub in the Shire, but I've kind of already been there. Now it would be different to go for real, right? But like I went to New Zealand for my honeymoon. I went to Matamata. I saw the Shire, and you go inside a fully bit out Green Dragon. You have a drink. And then so I started thinking more, and I keep going back to, I couldn't really find anywhere in Star Wars that I wanted to go, actually. But I keep going back to the Quidditch World Cup from Harry Potter. It would be so dope. Plus, it'd be like a sporting background, right? So I wouldn't feel completely out of place. Like, I'd be able to grasp. I'd love to go to the games, get up in the stands, cheer. You probably don't know this, Jake, but they have tents that basically become mansions on the inside because it's magic.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot fathom how sick the tent parties are. Internationals, everybody hanging out together, drinking, a lot of shenanigans going down. I just think the Quidditch World Cup would be awesome, dude. Spend a few days.
Sounds great. Don't know. I mean, I know what the game is because I've seen that movie with
Just
Vince
a World
Vaughn
Cup,
and
but
Owen
with
Wilson.
Quidditch.
Yeah, so I know the game. But it sounds awesome.
What did Vince Vaughn? What are you talking about?
It was the movie where they were interns at Google. They played that game.
Oh no! I'm talking about like
Called the internship.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about like though, and LSU has a good Quidditch team. Shout out to him. I'm talking about though, like if the like I would like real Quidditch, not going to the fake Quidditch World Cup, like the Harry Potter Quidditch. Yes.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason I know what it is.
Oh,
from
I see.
that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That movie was, it was kind of like one of those comedies. You're like, okay, that was like a couple fun parts.
Yeah.
I'm really never gonna watch it again, but sure. Congratulations, Taylor. He just watched Hot Tub Time Machine first time.
It was really good.
Mac Lindsay says the diner from Twin Peaks for a cup of coffee and a slice of pie. I mean, yeah, best pie in town, that's for sure, dude. Diagon Alley. Oh, that's a good call. Gulf South as well. That'd be a very fun day of shopping. All right, keep them coming in. Next, we got a little Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Cruise Life is here. It's Blooming Line says this week.
OTB, OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org. For 50 years, I've been taking care of all your plumbing problems. So I don't care what the problem is, new, old, residential, commercial, they got your back. You want to upgrade your bathroom? You want like something like a tankless water heater, get the bathroom of your dreams? Guys, we need 3 more like buttons to hit 100. Let's do it. I always hit a like button for Central Plumbing. Okay, that's all you need to know. Flat rate pricing, great warranty coverage, the absolute best. CentralPlumbing.org.
Give them the call, 225-925-8552, because 24/7 also means 365. And no matter what time it is, and no matter what day it is, no matter what holiday it is, they are going to come out if you have an issue. So you're going to have a lot of people over for probably the Thanksgiving holiday, Christmas holiday. Write that number down, because the last thing that you want is to have an issue when you are hosting, when you have all these people at your home. But if you do have that, remember 225-925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system. in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sean Salisbury's joining us to talk some quarterback. Shay Dixon on recruiting. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
I have this thing where I get older, but just never wiser. Midnights become my afternoons. When my depression works the graveyard shift.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
I can tell you turned on. Can you imagine Madden menu? This is playing? Hell yes. You're doing like the mini games? It's me. Spin move. Stiff arm. Do they still have the skill games in Madden?
I think so.
Like the training camp games?
Man, I hadn't bought a Madden in like 5 years.
FIFA skill games are actually even better. Yeah, I haven't bought a Madden forever. I'm finally going to dive back into video game football outside of Retro Bowl with
NCAA.
Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby, but I'm a monster on the hill. What are these lyrics, man?
Are you seeing the third eye, Mario?
I mean, okay.
Wait,
go be a monster and look at the sexy babies. Cool.
Hey, have you ever read any of the Taylor Swift lyrics?
I think she's just saying that she sometimes feels insecure. I think it's that simple. I mean, do you disagree?
I just don't see the connection between the words.
To keep up with the lingo.
She's saying like she feels like the other girls that she's competed with, being compared to, that she doesn't.
Oh, like she's an ugly monster.
Yeah.
To keep up with the lingo.
No, not to
her
eat
beats.
That's what it sounds like.
Her beats are catchy. Taylor Swift's lyrics are mid.
Wow.
I'm sorry for interrupting your Taylor Swift thing. I just thought those were weird lyrics.
I mean, sexy baby is two words that generally you would avoid pairing together.
Yeah. Especially if you're a monster.
Again, I think you're taking it a bit too literally. So sometimes in like lyric writing and storytelling, you can do things that are a bit more metaphorical, not as like literal. But yeah. The only thing I reject is a lot of people try to act like how is Taylor Swift like insecure? Like she's not like imposter syndrome's real. Like it's everybody in the world feels pressure and insecurity and everything. Like it's no surprise that Taylor Swift does as well. So can't wait for the new Madden cover. T Swift confirmed on it. Ask the Bench, brought by Cold Curse Light, Visit Your Tilted Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. Yeah, at least she writes her own lyrics. It's true. Taylor.
Awesome.
Taylor. Travis Kelce's never going to hang out with any of y'all.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. Like, what if they break up?
Well, that's,
We could bro down.
Yeah, you never
it's
know.
almost assuredly going to take place.
There you go.
You have little faith.
Ask the Bench, which realistic candidate worries you the most at A&M?
Dan Lanning.
He's
Although
not
I don't think he's realistic.
No, Dan Lanning literally said, like, hell no, I'm not going.
I think it would be a downgrade
Mike
for him.
Elko.
Yeah, probably Elko. Just from a football standpoint.
I don't know. Y'all have a great day. See you tomorrow here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Patient Plus Urgent Care, PatientPlusUC.com, PatientPlusUC.com. Go see a Patient Plus and you will immediately see it on the outside looking in, right? They say you can't judge a book by its cover. Well, sometimes you can gain insight. And the facilities look incredible from the outside, and then you go inside and you're like, my God, this book does match its cover. In fact, it's the best. So, for life's unexpected moments, you need to get in and get better. You want, that show did it in a weird note. I agree. You want to get Patient Plus, PatientPlusUC.com, Patient Plus Urgent Care.
And you can find all the information there on the website, like T-Bob talks about all the time. Become a member with unlimited visits for only $20 a month. You can learn more information at PatientPlusUC.com about that. And we know there's always going to be a convenience attached to Patient Plus, location-wise, hours-wise, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. every single day. They are all about your convenience in an inconvenient time. PatientPlusUC.com. Get in and get better.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.